Unhallowed, unhallowed. Unhallowed, unhallowed. Young DC is the story of some friends investigating mysterious happenings in Metropolis. And the Franks and the spooks don't stop, and they gotta deal with Chicken Boy and Great Pot while protecting all the family and friends, new enemies and old. Keep attacking them, and everything's fighting for their attention. And there's a deity called the Great Bot that I mentioned. Unhallowed, unhallowed. Metropolis of Curios, unhallowed, unhallowed. Metropolis of Curios, unhallowed, unhallowed.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Encounter Roleplay, and welcome back to Death's Curios, our Unhallowed Metropolis RPG game that we do every week here in our post-apocalyptic Victorian London. So welcome back for another session. This week we're going to be doing some very interesting things set in a secret theatre society on Lower London at a theatre that's been long abandoned on New Year's Eve, not less, before, of course, they get to socializing and everything else they need to do and solving the mystery of the next Curios. But before then, we're going to very quickly throw you over to a video about our sponsors, and then we'll be right back with you to introduce all of our wonderful players today and give you a recap and get right back into where we were. So I will see you all in just a moment.
Before we begin today's show, I would like to take some time to remind you about our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. All of the beautiful maps and roles you see tonight are done using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer and 40k minis for up to 20% off regular retail price. And Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. Go and check them out at tabletoploot.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So we're going to get quickly into introducing our players today, and then we're going to get right on with our game for the evening. So we're going to go around this side, which will start with our brilliant Greybeard's Tavern. Welcome back. Who are you playing?
Greybeard or Greybeard's Tavern, and this evening I will be Dr. Verrucht, the mad scientist, and he's got a fake arm and a lot of PTSD, but he's now got a new patient, a damn Fuhrer, who is now on his couch, and we will continue our therapy, I would hope.
Definitely. And moving down to Tilly Griffiths. Humbledore, welcome back.
Hi, glad to be back. I'll be playing Tilly Griffiths, the ace, ace being a operative word at the moment, detective, who's kind of in a little bit of a moral quandary with everything that went on with last session, the Doctor finally coming truth forward with what happened and taking responsibility, and also having a mess of a certain carnival operator to look after now. Great.
Definitely. And the person who was missing last week but might have a lot to catch up on this week, Magdalena DeVille, our Dampier.
It's me. Hi, I'm Lindy, and I'll be playing Magdalena Dracul. Because secret's out, let's be honest. Daughter of Dracula. Dracula's visiting, and I'm training Cooper to be a great vampire hunter, which is fine. Not worried about it at all, and I believe, depending on what happened, I don't know what happened last week. I didn't have time to watch the episode, so I'm sure nothing big happened. It'll be fine. I'm sure they all missed me terribly, as I am a wonderful source of guidance in this world, and yes, I'm going to visit the Queen.
Yep, that's certainly one way of saying it. And
Yes.
speaking of Queen, somebody who at least has Queen-like energy, Delilah Berkeley, welcome back.
Hello. I am playing Delilah Berkeley, Lawyer Lark here, and Delilah's very much, well, a noble in her own right, nowadays anyway, but, you know, she might have had a very not noble past, being an American jazz singer. She's doing great. She's excited for, excited / dreading / hopefully, like, Ned won't have a panic attack when she tells him that one of his favorite top scientists might be on death's row, potentially, unless we find a good lawyer. As Magdalena suspected, nothing important happened. Pretty excited for this New Year's party to kick off, tell everyone my husband's alive. Very nice. I didn't kill him. And another really important thing, evolutionary play. Delilah does not condone underground play, well, maybe, but her American blood very much does. She's like, oh my god, revolution, free art, but she's not saying that.
Certainly. And I'm interested to see how you're going to react to that free art. And speaking of somebody who always likes free things, Miss Fairchild.
Especially
Free pie.
pie. Free pie, it's the power of free. Hi, I'm Shakespeare, and I'm playing Miss Fairchild, a mourner with secrets, the one being her son, who has actually got a play date. He's socializing for pretty much the first time in his short life. Oh god, I'm so terrible. But yes, Havelock is happily having tea with Teddy, and they're being tiny geniuses together, and it makes my heart soft. But Miss Fairchild is a little put out after having to miss the hanging. I mean, really. What passes for entertainment if you can't go to a decent hanging? But everyone had an attack of conscience. It happens occasionally. And is rather worried about the doctor's sudden need to do the right thing, but is rather looking forward to the theatre. She doesn't get out much, and literally all she knows about it is they're going to see a play. She's never really done that. It's going to be fun. So, yeah.
And that will indeed be fun, as you're at least going to go and see a play, which is all you know about the situation currently, Miss Fairchild. And speaking of, last session, our group was preparing for their wonderful New Year's Eve party at Delilah Berkeley's estate again. And just as usual, whenever they're invited to Delilah's, other things are brewing in the background, as it seems Dr. Varuk's troubled past is not only the only thing that is haunting him, but also detectives, some that had managed to figure out that there was some suspicion about that he may have done something in relation to shattering the dome that was holding the event of the Halloween Gala, which unfortunately shattered and killed many nobles' families. Many killed in the tragic accident, and it seemed they were involved. So since then, however, there was to be a hanging of a Mr. Phineas Mack III, the proprietor and showrunner for the Starfall Circus, the carnival that was in town at the time. And he was to be hanged for the crimes that Dr. Varuk had committed. Dr. Varuk and the rest decided that they couldn't let this lie, they couldn't let an innocent man go and hang for their crimes. And so, in a moment of conscience, went to the place, and Dr. Varukht gave himself up. The detective said they would be in contact soon, and to have a nice New Year's Eve. And it's that very afternoon that as you all begin to make your way back towards Delilah Berkeley's estate, to get ready for the party that's to come, to prepare for the night's events, opening it up before disappearing for a show at a theatre in Lower London. That Dr. Varukht, you do receive a letter. A runner meets you before you enter the Berkeley estate as you all step out of your carriage, operating very fast as they seem to be dressed in a very official uniform, though younger, seem to be a junior officer of some sort for the police of the metropolis, as they hand over a letter towards you, sealed in what seems to be a black envelope with a red seal. Here you go, sir.
Thank you. And he cracks the seal, opens it. And now, is he a courier or a police officer? You said an officer.
He seems to be a junior officer that's being used as a courier for the police.
So then,
as he hands it over,
tipping him.
You don't need to tip. No. You think tipping him might be a bit weird. He's here to deliver you something very particular. And as you open up the letter, you realize tipping was definitely the best thing not to go with, as you see a letter that is a very polite but very direct announcement of your arrest to come the following day. The first day of the new year, you are to be arrested. It says that you are to be handed in, whether it be by yourself or whether it be that they send officers to collect you at your home, and essentially that you are to be in holding within a cell in Scotland Yard. It is said, however, that you will have protection whilst there due to the nature of your crimes being as grand as they are, and also that they will put you in a fair trial. The date is not set yet, but you at least know you're going to be incarcerated from tomorrow. Seems to be tomorrow evening.
So is it good news, Doctor? It's really hoping.
No, just details about the whole court and whatnot. Let us be on our way. And he puts the letter in his pocket, in his vest jacket. Inner pocket. Thank you, young man.
He just nods. He doesn't say you're welcome. And he turns on his heel and leaves. Still, you're getting quite a few funny looks as you've been walking through as well, Varukht. Seems a bit of the news has already broke out, gossip and the like. People are looking at you funny, especially upper London residents. And as you're approaching the Noble District, you especially get a few stink eyes. However, you make it to Delilah Berkeley's estate, and you do step through the doors, as all of you made it safely back into the estate, where decorations are already placed, everything is already ready to go, and you've got about half an hour until the guests begin to arrive. And of course, Delilah, you open up the events with Ned before departing.
Perfect. Is there time to sneak in the conversation about we need to talk about the doctor?
You do have a short time to do so, yes.
Cool. Yeah, I need
you wish to
grab
summon
my
Ned,
husband
you have your Ned
earlier.
bell.
Yes, I will ring my bell of Ned and summon my husband.
So you go over to the side, you pull back the curtains, and you find the strings and pulleys that attach to the bells throughout the house, and you ring the one that says lab, and about 2 minutes later, you hear a door unclick and lock a few times before it closes, and then clicks and locks a few more times as Ned makes his way out, still not quite ready for the evening, as he seems to have quite a bit of oil and dust on him as he steps out and sort of sees each of you. Welcome back. How was your day? Did you get up to anything fun?
Quite miserable, actually, my love. She's gonna kiss his cheek. We need to talk. While you're getting ready, of course, you cannot look like this.
I will be fine. I only need about 10 minutes.
Of course you do, dear. She kind of holds it back. Well, we have some news for you. Do you care to sit down, my love?
Yes, of course, he says, as he sits down in one of the plush chairs, kind of the only person currently sat down as he looks around at the rest of you. And Magdalena, it's about this point that you arrive. You've been spending a long day training Chicken Boy, training Cooper to be a killer. It's not been
Yep.
going very well.
Ooh, is it not?
No. He seems to be confused at what you're teaching him. He's not entirely
He
grasped the
reminds me
situation.
of myself at his age.
Yeah.
So incompetent and confused.
You're getting nostalgia of your own time of being such an incompetent and confused person as you see all of his confusion and
Children are
incompetence.
so dumb.
Of course. And that's what you've been experiencing all day. But you managed to get ready in time and you managed to make it to the event in time. Your father has, however, requested that Cooper stay behind. He is to help with his training. He has some very specific tasks he wants the boy to conduct. So he wants some one-on-one time.
I'm sure it will be fine. After all, we're going to see the Queen later, so he can't get too involved in anything. But she's probably just going over this stuff in her head as she walks up, and then just probably lets herself in to the house if the servants don't get to the door quickly enough.
They do. They get to the door immediately and let you in.
Oh, good.
Before seeing you, and one of them says, Lady Magdalena de Ville, please enter. They're already waiting inside. I've been told if you're to arrive that you're allowed in early.
Yes, good. Where are they? Inside this
right
big
this way.
house. Okay.
They lead you to the area where you do find everybody stood about, and then there is Delilah there, and Ned has just been told to take a seat, and has. He's covered in a bit of oil and dust, sort of a bit disheveled. His collar's half stuck up.
Yeah, she'll kind of fix his collar, and as Magdalena's walking in, well, the doctor might potentially be hung. She just quickly fixes his collar.
Yeah. What?
Oh, Magdalena, so nice of you to join us. We have terrible news. Please come in.
I do love good terrible news sometimes.
So, darling, do you remember when I told you about that terrible incident during Halloween with the dome shattering and well, scraping my arm? It's quite awful.
Yes, I remember it quite well. You mentioned that you'd scraped your arm and that there was some.
The doctor
incident of
lost
some
his
sort.
arm, and yes.
Yes, dreadful. I would be needing to. His arm his new one is great. So
Yes.
worry's
we've
fine. It
learned
is his
that
mind that is important, regardless.
We've learned some interesting information, and now she kind of looks at the doctor. Would you like to take it from here, Dr. Verrucht? I cannot hear you, Doctor. You seem to be
Speak
mumbling.
up, you're so
it seems
quiet.
Pardon. As I was a little verklempt. I fired my pistol to stop the vagabond, the killer. And
Is that what happened? I was not there.
And the dome came down and took the arm. And now...
Yes, I do vaguely recall that conversation. Yes.
And now they're finding the bullets, and they will
Right.
put it together that it is mine. I turned myself in.
What?
saying that-
What? You did what?
They were going to hang the circus man, and I've got too many that have.
He's just circus man, strange circus man.
Miss
I know.
Fairchild is nodding with Magdalena, just like, yes, I know.
And the doctor is like almost comes over to comfort Magdalena. But
Magdalena,
is
as
like,
you say that as well, could you please give me a very quick, just 2d10 check, please?
Oh no. Okay.
What?
Okay.
10.
Okay. As you say, he's just a circus man that you remember a memory from your distant past. A lover that you once took. He was also a strange circus man. And he died horribly in a lion accident.
Mm.
You think your father orchestrated it. You're pretty certain now, in fact.
Yeah. Well,
You're filled with
I mean-
nostalgia and sadness.
I look sad. I'm like, oh, well, I mean, really, the noose would have spared him from a freak lion accident. It would have been a mercy.
It is a
Strange
very-
circus men died so terribly by my father's hands.
It's very not possible, but maybe
Are you in love
probable.
with this strange circus man? Is that why you had to do it?
No.
Then I am
It
very
is,
confused.
So, who's in love with the strange circus man? Says Ned as he's very confused at this conversation.
I
No,
think
No,
that's
it's awful.
I'm under the belief none of us are in love with strange circus man. It is
Right.
He was going to die,
Right.
and I could not
Yes.
live with him dying for me without the truth coming. The truth is
I can respect
truth
that.
is the most important thing.
Truth is one of the most important things. That is certainly true, Dr. Baruch.
It's science.
In science. I'll agree with that.
Yes. There are a lot of things that are not science.
well, I for one
Most
think
things
you're
are
a
science,
doctor.
Lady Magdalena, but that is not an argument I wish to get into. I'm sorry for your loss, he says to you, Magdalena, before he turns and looks at the rest of you. Well then, Doctor, it seems there's to be quite the trouble for you. I don't really want you going away for that long. I have much need of your research. I will see if I can grease certain palms, and I don't know many other terms for heavily bribing them. But I'm
Yes,
going to
if their
heavily
palms
bribe
are
them.
greased, they cannot capture you.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Yes.
Yes, that's what the grease is
And
for.
how about finding that really good lawyer friend of yours?
Oh, I could also do that. Yes, we could do it by the law.
That boring one.
Well, he's
He wore the most terrible three-piece suit. Ugh.
well, they're highly skilled at what they do, Delilah. I don't think they're boring. They're just particular. They're very good at law.
See,
The clothing.
when are you
my love,
supposed to
that's
go get
what's-
hanged or imprisoned?
The trial has not been set yet. As a
Right,
matter of
that's
fact,
good.
and
Well,
I take
The
I
problem
take
after
the-
tonight. Papa
I
and
take
I
the
are going to talk to the Queen, so
Oh, we're
I
going
wouldn't
to
be
a play.
very
Would you like
worried.
to join us sometime before or after?
Your meeting with the
But
Queen
they-
was pushed back. You have your meeting
Yes.
tomorrow, New Year's Day.
oh,
so-
tomorrow, not today. That's right, the New Year.
Yeah, no, your father
Alright,
is recovering.
well-
so.
Bless him. Tomorrow I am meeting with Queen with Papa, so I would not be too attached to the law right now. They might change drastically very soon. So
I would appreciate
So-
any help you would give. And the doctor hands the letter to Tilly and just says, "Sis, some of the legal matters."
Tilly, if I'm okay to interject, Tilly wouldn't be there.
Oh,
Oh.
You probably
then he-
would, given that it's the event and it's time for it.
I mean, if you
As
said we
you
had
were
half an
arranged to
hour,
be.
she would have popped over to Lord Marriott's house if she had, like,
Lord Marriott's. Okay, no problem.
yeah.
You would have found Lord
Yeah.
Marriott is engaged getting ready for the party, however.
I just asked that I could call on Chelsea Barrows, Miss Barrows.
Oh, yeah, she can walk to the door. She comes to the front door for you.
Miss Barrows,
Yes.
can I just come in a moment? I won't take up too much of your time.
Yes, as long as it's quick. I'm getting the young lord ready.
Very quick, very quick.
Right. She
I just wanted
gestures for you to come in.
say thank you.
Why?
I went to visit Claybury today, and apparently a young woman has been visiting a patient there, and I believe it's you.
Well, that it would be, miss.
And I just wanted to say how grateful I am for that. And if there's anything I can do for you, even if you don't go again, just let me know.
You've been doing more than enough, miss. You've saw to it that my young lord's been returned.
I know, and the stipulation was that you went and saw them once, and you've gone above and beyond, so...
Well, I mean, they seem lonely, in all honesty, miss. I
Yes.
thought it bad to stop after once. They were excited to see me again.
They've
so I
been
thought
very
it best
appreciative.
to continue, is all.
Well, you have my gratitude, and theirs as well. They've expressed a great love of your cooking.
Oh, good. I did practice for years to get it just right. Lord Marriott is very particular with what he likes to eat, so...
Oh, Well, she has benefited greatly from that experience.
Good. Well, I'm glad that it's helpful, and I'm glad that she's enjoying it, then, Miss. I imagine we'll see you at the party tonight.
For a
I
short
am
time.
to attend, of course, with the Lord, as ensuring that nothing happens.
Do you expect something to happen, Miss Barrett?
Oh, no, but there's a lot of the upper crust there.
True,
So,
true.
It's to protect his interests.
Of course. Well, I will definitely drop in on Lord Marriott, but I won't keep you for any longer than I need to.
I'm sure he'll
Thank
be
you.
excited to see you at the party tonight.
Well, there's not a chessboard, I'm afraid. I don't think Miss Berkeley would put one out for us, so... And I
Probably
can't be
not.
staying long, unfortunately. I have another engagement elsewhere.
Oh, that's a shame. Regardless, I'm sure they'll be happy to see you even for a short amount of time. They'll be very busy this evening.
Well, I'll have to ask them all about it later. Thank you again, Miss Barris.
No problem, she says, as you make your way away. And you would arrive about that point in the conversation that they're having.
Papers. All right.
It is the legal matters, and just so you know the details.
Okay, excellent.
I have not shared those details with anyone. It's not important for this evening. It's for later on.
Well, and she gives him a quick read over before her. She inspects the letter, actually, because her paranoia kicks in a little bit. Is there anything, any small print that someone might miss?
The letter is in the one that you were just handed, Dr. Baruch.
Yes, correct.
Okay, in which case that is it's a simple notice of arrest. These are rarely given out, only if they sort of are being a bit more lenient on a person, given that they've given themselves over. That might be why. It also might be because it's New Year's Eve and none of them want to be arresting somebody and keeping them in a jail instead of spending their evening with their families. So he's getting a free night before, of course, in the morning, the evening of tomorrow, he's to be arrested.
Okay.
It says, as the bell strikes 8, they will be there to take him.
Does it specify a place?
It says either he should hand himself in or they will collect him at his residence.
Right. So you have to be back tomorrow at your residence or hand yourself in by 8 o'clock in the evening. Well, they are being rather lenient. New Year's Eve and all. Too bad they weren't as lenient with Mr. Phineas earlier.
It's because he's a strange circus man.
He is right here. We do have him with us.
He does
Hello.
kind of sit in the corner on a little chair drinking his little cup of tea shakily,
Magdalena,
still wearing sort of not very good clothes and his hat's still with the only thing that's remaining, the top half peeled off, as he sort of sits there drinking his tea, listening to the amount of times you said, "You should have let strange circus man die."
It would have been a mercy. She realizes his existence. She kind of just goes, eh.
Mr. Phineas, I believe you should go and get yourself cleaned up with Miss Berkeley's permission.
Yes,
go and get yourself disguised adequately and make
Yes,
yourself
that would
scarce
be
for this
preferable.
evening. Dr. Varukht.
I
Don't
glance
wear
at him
any
and to take him
or
away.
lions might eat you.
Dr. Varukht, I believe a lot of the upper crust are coming tonight, and I couldn't help but notice you were getting some rather peculiar stares on the way here. I don't think it's best for you to show your face.
Most likely that would be acceptable. Yes.
Perhaps
I could keep you in
go-
one of our guest rooms, or one of our spare parlors. We have plenty.
Well,
I could also write additional notes and stuff for you, Ned, as Herbert is to bring all of my research to you upon the morrow.
Oh,
And
brilliant.
I will fill in some gaps if you have a plate for me.
How about this then, Dr. Varukht? You want to be there at 8 o'clock in the evening, yes? So if you are having your papers delivered in the morning, you can stay here for the night later. We'll give you one of the suites. I believe one of them has just become vacant, and you can stay in there for the evening, have a lovely morning, have a nice breakfast. We can go over your papers, ensure they're all filed correctly, and then we can see about what you want to do for your day. Your last day as a free man for a while. I'm happy to pay for any expenses you may wish to have in case it goes wrong.
I appreciate
Shouldn't go
that.
wrong, though. The law is
How
very
about
good.
we celebrate with a cheese board or a chess board or both?
I don't think we should celebrate Dr. Varut's,
Incarcerated.
Birthday. Well, people celebrate before marriage, and they say marriage is
more
important.
than
Not that
morning.
it's like that with you.
Think of it as a wake for his arrest.
Yes, and we could
I
definitely
believe
do
that
with a
that's
cheese
something
board.
that Miss Fairchild could relate to. Mourner terms, they're difficult for me to understand sometimes. I'm sorry.
Yes, a wake is not usually a celebration, at least not
No.
for those in my profession.
Exactly. It's,
Well,
something to get
Dr.
him.
Varuk, if you do want to be out of the house, a few of us are going to a theatre play in Lower London tonight. I don't think you're
Yes,
quite
that's
as
why I
wanted
asked.
down there. So
I-
you are welcome to join.
In
It's
Lower London, says Ned as he sort of looks a bit more
He's
Oh,
like, don't look
It's
at
the
him.
worried
play.
at that.
What is the show? I've seen so many plays. They get so
Oh,
boring.
it's
I
perfectly
was
fine.
told
It's
that you were
not
going to a
illegal
show, Delilah,
whatsoever,
but not
dealer.
in Lower London.
Oh, darling, it's perfectly safe. I assure you. This is, and Dr. Varuk is a walking arsenal of weaponry.
Well,
And Magdalena over here is blessed as well.
And Miss Fairchild is a mourner. She is more than capable.
and
Of course,
I don't want to
I
get in trouble
know.
with the law or anything like that. So we're all good.
Yes, darling.
he just looks more
Right.
worried by all of your explanations.
Oh,
Like,
well,
all of
I'm
them
going
seem
to
to have
go and get
increased his
Elsie.
anxiety about this entire
I'm
situation.
going to help get Phineas ready. I'll see you in a bit.
Yes,
Oh,
darling.
but
Well, I need to
before you-
get you in your suit.
Before you
I
go,
can
before
have
you
my
go,
maid dress me, but
I have a
Yes.
question. You
Yes,
said
yes,
you
of
would think about this yesterday, so I really hope you have thought about it. You said Lord Archibald Berkeley was going to visit someone, and the name was escaping you. Do you have name now?
I haven't had the time to think about that.
It
I
has been
was working on a few projects, and it was very
so
important.
many hours. Okay,
had a
you
lot
have
to
like
do.
5 minutes before we leave. So start thinking.
It was
Not
some
talking,
sort of lady.
not talking, thinking. Shh.
You can't speak
does
to me
have to
like that in my
memorize
own
this.
house, Magdalena.
Yes, and he also has to memorize his speech, dear.
A
I just
speech.
look.
Yes.
darling. We always have. She kind of just passes him the one she's already had made already because she knows he always forgets. Here.
I must have misplaced it. Thank you. I shall go and get dressed, and I shall have a think about this thing that you've just told me, Magdalena. Please enjoy whatever's around, and get yourself some refreshments. It'll be a lovely party, I'm sure. And enjoy your show tonight. Don't die.
I won't, dear.
And he leaves anxiously.
I watch him leave.
Lady Berkeley,
He's so cute. Passed out. Yes.
could you show me those dresses you were going to talk about?
Yes. Well, some
The
of them are in
family
pieces now. But
Yeah.
yes, I can show you. She'll lead her to one of the other spare rooms where her I think the fourth closet is. Just like take her up to the other wardrobe. It's the one that like Magdalena like ruined half of, but the other half is still there.
Okay. She's going to take out a magnifying glass and she's just going to look over the stitching and the patterns and see if there's anything, and remember back with crystal clarity to the unfortunate victim she saw when they went to the mirror world, and see if any of the sort of style is similar.
Certainly. And which ones are you looking over? The ones that the tailor had made before?
Yeah, the dresses.
So give me a very quick forensic science check, please.
I can indeed. That's useful. Roll. 22.
Very nice. There are a lot of similarities to them, yes. And on your 22, you also realize that there are more similarities, not just to this, but as you sort of look around a few of the pieces of clothing, there are some similarities within them. Particularly, there seems to be a few, though very loose, similarities to some of Rouge's work.
How long have you known Rouge?
Well, ever since I came to England, darling. She has the accent, of course, and I thought that was so charming. And her style, it reminded me of, well, my not father's. So, of course, I hired her right away, and we began opening up new frontiers of fashion and bringing some joy to this very joyless place called London.
And from your experience with Rouge,
Yes.
have they been able to recreate other people's styles?
Well, she can, but why follow trends when you can set them, dear?
Have you shown her these pieces before?
No, I've kept them just in case one day we have a daughter and I can get her to try all of my old dresses. But now that I know my previous father murdered my mother, I might want to reconsider.
That's not confirmed. However, looking over these, I can see definite similarities between your father's work here and the work on the victim. However, I also see elements of, well, Rouge, and it's strange. Trust me, I can't forget any of that woman's influence. You've really tried.
Yes, isn't she just remarkable and memorable? She's wonderful.
Yes, she certainly sticks out in my memory.
Yes, she made a new dress just for you, by the way, Tilly. I have it in one of my closets here.
Oh, great. Thank you.
It's
That's
for the New Year's
kind.
party.
Is it suitable for Lower London? You know, because we're going to be going there after, and I don't really want to attract more attention than I need to, because I have a habit of doing
Yes,
that.
you are going to love this. This one is a bit more Asiatic inspired. A bit, I think it'd look really good on your second date as well. There's a slit going up the... Sorry,
slit?
she kind of
What do
grins.
you mean a split?
You'll see.
Split is
And on that note, meanwhile, downstairs, the rest of you are stood in the foyer. Is there anything you wish to do before the party begins?
I would like to go check on Havelock and Teddy.
Certainly. So you make your way around and you eventually find your way to Teddy's area of the house, the young lord, as you make your way around. And you do see him and Havelock playing quite pleasantly. They seem to be talking. They've got a bit of tea. And they seem to be basically flicking through Teddy's different books. He's got quite a few, even though he can't really read them much yet, which Havelock seems to be going through and reading some of, whilst Teddy is sort of telling him about a few things. So
I resist the urge to look incredibly smug and sit down and watch them for a while and just sit and think. And she will very carefully kind of reach up to her hair and take out the red ribbon that she's wearing, which has been like the one flash of color in her outfit. And she's going to tuck it away and put it in a pocket of her coat and just sit and watch the two children for a while.
And you sit and watch for a while as you hear the guests begin to funnel in downstairs. And Dr. Farouk and Magdalena, you're met again with Ned as the guests begin to funnel in. And he looks at you, Magdalena, as he sort of has his tie adjusted by one of the maids for like a final little check over. And he sort of looks at you and smiles slightly. I've remembered the name, Magdalena. For what it's worth.
Yes, and
Though first, an apology for you being rude in my house. And he stands there, just looks at you, smiles ever so slightly.
I'm gonna use my brain control on him.
You can try.
The
I would
doctor
like to
pulls
try.
a small notebook
Sure,
out
go ahead.
and starts scratching notes.
Magdalena, apologize. Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen easily. Okay, plus. Oh, it didn't add my modifier. That'd be a 17.
Brilliant stuff. So let me quickly get Ned's up. Now, I warn you, Ned is at least pretty good at this. It will be, hopefully, you'll be able to succeed, however. Okay, 22. So,
Even
Ned
matched.
looks at you.
I'm just looking at him, and if he doesn't break, she'll actually be fairly impressed because I
Yes,
don't
his
think
mind
that's
seems to
happened
be...
before.
No, you've never had somebody resist it before. You find his mind and his will, despite his anxious demeanor, very difficult to break.
I think after just staring at it, probably
He's
like
like
an
a
uncomfortable,
bastion
like
of will.
30 seconds, 45 seconds, she'll kind of take a step back, reappraise him, and go, I
Is everything all right,
apologize.
Lady Magdalena? You... Thank you. Now, you are looking a bit pale. Would you like a drink or something?
No, I will have one later.
Of course, he says, and smiles at you very politely. The name, he says, and sort of gestures for you to take his arm as he'll lead you around to the side.
Let's take it.
The name you're looking for is a Lady Beatrice Hart. H-A-R-T. Not like the thing in your chest.
Beatrice Hart. Oh, yes, like the one beating in my chest.
I said like the one not. But
Oh.
still, besides that point, there's a few things about them. You may know of them. They were very large in France for a while. They moved there quite a while back. I believe their line was there for quite a lot of years before they moved back. Quite the sensation. Oddly enough, has set up a small manor of sorts outside of the walls of London, which is a very, very peculiar thing to do, given all the danger out there. But they've decided it is a better place for them. And they have been getting a steady stream of visitors. Magdalena, as you've heard the name, could you give me a very quick history check, please?
I can indeed. I really hope this isn't one of my father's rivals. Come on, Magdalena. History check. 15.
Okay, on a 15. You do recognize the name. Yes, it is one of your father's rivals. One of his most grievous rivals, in fact. One of the more powerful ones. The Hart clan, so to speak, have been operating for quite a while. They're vampires with particularly strong empathic abilities.
Ugh. Okay. That's cool.
She's also known to be incredibly beautiful and incredibly influential. And to be a very powerful vampire. Your father very much respects her.
Gross. Fine. I think Magdalena goes on like a whole face journey while hearing this and thinking about it, and just says, "Thank you for this information. It puts me at ease."
Of course, of course. I have an invitation to go and visit them myself in a week if it helps you feel better. Perhaps in less time I'll have to schedule it, but for what it's worth, I believe that Archibald is only visiting as a gesture. I don't believe there's anything going on there. He seems very much to be smitten with yourself. So I'm sure it's fine.
Yes, I am entirely sure everything is fine in this situation.
Good, good. Oh, and Lady Magdalena, it would be brilliant at some point to have you do a portrait of our family. I'd be willing to pay for it, of course.
Oh, yes, I already did one, but I could do another
Yes,
one.
but a bigger one, preferably.
Oh, I understand.
It's something quite grand. I would need to pay
Something
quite a
very
bit for it, I understand, but I assure you I have the means.
Okay, we can discuss this, yes.
Brilliant.
Like 4 year sized?
Yes,
My
just
papa
a
enjoys
bit.
rather large portraits as well.
Yes,
so
I want a very large one, yes. I want it to be able to cover most of a wall.
This can be done.
Good, I have a specialized frame for it. I'll get you the specifications, he says and nods.
Excellent.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and make my rounds.
Of course, have fun at party.
I certainly won't, thank you. He says and leaves you. And you're left alone after that strange encounter, hearing that name stood around many people.
I just go power walk to find the doctor.
Doesn't take long, Dr. Varuk. You've seen people funneling in. Not many of them give you the stink eye as they walk in. They're quite polite. Some of them, in fact, do reference your name and simply say Dr. Varuk and give you a polite nod as they pass you. But aside from that, you do see Magdalena storming across the room like a possessed woman.
Oh, you have returned. Should we step out for a moment?
Yes, that would probably be best. There are so many polite people here.
And the doctor kind of does a half chuckle and he says, oh, so breakable. So breakable. Let us go find something else.
Very fragile. Yes.
And when we walk out, the doctor will say something along the lines of, I really do love Lord Dr. Berkeley. Dr. Lord Berkeley. Doctor should be in there somewhere. These English, they screw things up very badly. But
They do. Yes.
I dearly, dearly appreciate the man's mind, but sometimes
He is intriguing. We have a spot for him in the new Lakian order.
His mind, good. His judgment, not so good. I mean, his dearest wife will do. Miss Fairchild, you, me, and even Miss Griffith carries a gun. I don't know.
Yes.
She'll be fine.
Yes, she'll be fine. And if not, then she'll be not fine then. But odds are she'll be fine. She's not weird circus man, so her odds are already improved above average.
The probability is good that she will not be hanged.
Yes, she is fine. But we have problem. At least I have problem, but I feel like since you are so interested in the history of my family and such, that you should know. Well, Archibald went to some harlot's house, and the hussy is Lady Beatrice Hart, and she is one of my father's greatest rivals of all time. Big family feud thing going on there is not great, and he's there.
He's got his little notebook. He's got his little notebook.
In your impromptu therapy session.
Yep.
In the side room.
She's allegedly beautiful and smart and very influential and has very strong emphatic abilities, and is just disgusting. And I cannot believe Archibald is over there and he has not been back yet. I checked.
And so the sexual relations between these two, how does that make you feel? And he flips a page.
Well, if they have occurred, then he is dead.
And are you in a formalized relationship with this Archibald?
Well, he's not met my father, because it's a pretty much 10 out of 10 death rate when they do meet my father. So that and Papa was not in town for a while, so...
Now, did you agree as a couple to be exclusive in your relations, sexual or otherwise?
We did not specify, but he should know.
Oh, so you are assuming that he would know this without communicating with you?
Yes, I have threatened him before, oh, if you look at her too long, I'll tear out your eyes. So, stuff like that.
Maybe you should work on your communication and be clearer with your paramours.
Like pass an edict?
That's,
here is my proclamation of love.
That is very good. That is setting a good boundary, and it would indeed make this current situation between the two of you a moot point. You would have clear boundaries, and then it would show that he's not respecting your boundaries, and hence you would rip his eyes out. Ocular ectomy. He writes the ocular ectomy down in the pad, underlines it a couple of times.
I shall consider this. His odds are not looking great right now because he's at Harlot's house and my papa is in town, so I should probably start emotionally distancing myself anyways, but for the next one.
Well, lessons learned as a thing, and if he is not there to respect your boundaries, then maybe you are better off.
For a human, you have wise words sometimes, Doctor.
Thank you. I have studied just a little bit.
And it's about that time in the hallway, as you kind of close it up. Tilly, Delilah, you're ready. And of course, you began to make your way down. And as you're passing through the various rooms to get down towards it, you do see Miss Fairchild sat watching the children.
Mm-hmm. Have you lost your ribbon, Miss Fairchild?
It seems so.
Do you need a spare? I have about 56 of them.
No. Thank you, Lady Berkeley. I rather think black is my colour.
I mean,
well, I rather do like it. It's a bit dreary at first, but it grows on you. She smiled as she has like a black and red dress.
I mean, I thought the red was very pretty, but your preferences are your own, Miss Fairchild.
Yes, it brings some colour to your cheeks. Not gonna
He's
peek
Lord
over.
Marriott here. I think. Can I borrow a chessboard? I need to thrash him again. I feel like it would make me feel better for the night.
Yes, I have one in our bedroom. Ned sometimes plays against himself. I can't play against him. So,
are you okay to fetch that down? I don't think I'm quite comfortable in
Just a flashback to like Ned playing on his head. It's like, Ned, are you coming to bed? And it's just like, wait, I need to. Good job, me. Ha, take it, me. Damn, I'll beat you next time, Ned.
he does a weird thing. Like his left hand is one side, his right hand's the other. Like normal people do.
We make them talk to each other as well.
The greatest rival.
I mean, when you're so brilliant that you have your, peerless, you're only pure as yourself. So, yeah, she'll kind of nod and will like ask a maid to fetch it because she has a grand interest to make husband, and she ain't missing that for a chessboard or a cheese board. Yeah. Oh yeah, there is a cheese board being made as well for Dr. Varroch's going to jail. But
going to jail cheese board. I'm sure that's going to be very appreciated in the morning.
It'll look like a chessboard. Yeah, and she's gonna go and like hook arms with her husband, have them to descend down the banister.
Okay.
All the dramatic thing.
So you all make it into the hall as, and even the two of you, Dr. Varroch and Magdalena, can sort of hear the quiet din as the words begin to die down. You begin to hear Ned speak his piece as he begins to recite a very well practiced and very much pre-written speech as he declares that, there's a lot going on in London. There's a lot of tension in the air, but at least for this evening, they may enjoy themselves and ring in the new year together as a united London. And that they've got some galas ongoing and they have some charity events to place soon that they'd love to have others in the audience join in with and perhaps put some funds towards so that they may bring all of the people together in this time of turmoil. And then he also says that drinks will be free for the entire evening, which seems to get a much better response.
Of course they will be. I'm so glad I wrote that in. And I'll descend and smile at Ned. I think you did quite well there, darling.
Thank you. Yes, I liked the bit about the drink. That went down well. The rest that I added was not apparently as well taken. Even though the causes are very important. But, I'm sure they'll be convinced after a few more drinks and much more conversation.
Absolutely, darling. And I'm sure we'll...
So that is normally your thing. You sure we have to go to this incredibly dangerous theatre with guns?
Yes, darling.
It's only when you have to pack guns and you have to, try and calm me by saying how much firepower you're taking with you to a place. It doesn't give me much confidence in the place. I'm all for you doing wherever you want and going wherever you want, but Lower London was a bit scary. Them all saying how much firepower they have and how safe they are in danger is even more worrying, however.
Well, what can I say? Ever since you left, I got a bit of an adventurous streak. I was
I've
actually
always had a bit of an
gang.
adventurous streak.
She smiles a bit.
Again?
Another one. Yes! This time between the British and the Americans. Technically, the Americans won, but
When
when
you
a
had-
bunch of widows, destroyed
When you were
it.
involved in the last one, you said there wouldn't be another one.
Well, as soon as we ship Mickey back to the New World, back to Chicago, I'm sure it'll be done. How are the
and
airships
I'm
coming along,
going
by
to
the way,
let him
dear?
on my ships, am I?
Well, do you want him to stay here, darling?
Touche.
Besides,
Fine.
he's already snuck his way here. Might as well officially ship him back out.
I mean, he could take a
Return to
boat.
sender. A boat,
Take a long
dear.
ship that won't make it to the other side.
She smiles and just and kisses his cheek. I do love you when you're so jealous. Now, just saying, we will be fine.
Yes.
As I said before, I told you Magdalena is very powerful.
I know they are, yes. Magdalene is very powerful. It took so much to get an apology out of her for insulting me in my own home.
She apologized.
Yes, of course she did. She's not completely impolite. Just
Oh, darling,
spirited.
I knew you were the right man for me when I first met you. And this just proves it.
I see.
She's like looks
well.
at him with so much love.
I shall endeavour to get apologies out of all of your friends when they insult me. That is what you wish to have.
No,
Man. He says, and a bit
she's
confused at it.
really- Well, you've read Taming of the Shrew, darling.
Well, not officially. Banned materials.
Well, I have. She smiles. But regardless, it's a remarkable feat.
Right. Well, regardless. I hope you have a good evening with your theatre. Of course, make your rounds first. Make sure that everybody knows you're here. Retire perhaps to the back with your friends in the parlour. Make the back entrance.
Yes,
That way they won't
very
see you
prudent.
publicly leaving through the front door and assume that we have had some sort of horrible tiff.
Oh, as dramatic as it would be, dear, I'd rather not. There's enough drama
Brilliant.
regarding us for now.
Then
Now we should
back with you.
mingle, divide and conquer for a while.
Of course. And please, do be as safe as you can.
Of course, dear. It's only involved in part of the Devil's Pact. She kisses his cheek again.
Sorry,
and
what?
We'll
And you make your way away as you leave him even more anxious than when you arrived.
are those appetizers? Just
And you
Trails
do make
off.
your rounds, and you do manage to locate Lord Marriott. He is currently talking to a couple of gentlemen who seem much older than him, sort of talking to him about various investment opportunities and what he's deciding to do with his wealth once he inherits and the like. It's a very
Okay.
boring conversation.
Yeah, she'll approach then and give a polite curtsy to the gentleman. Hello, gentlemen. Lord Marriott, I was hoping to catch you for a game of chess.
Well, yes, you certainly could. We are owed one, after all. My lords, if you would please allow me to, of course, have my game with the detective, that would be amazing. I shall return to talk about this later, of course. Your opportunities are very interesting, and I very much appreciate everything that you're putting forward. I'll consider it. Very well. You have a lovely game then, with your detective, Lord Marriott. We'll be around. We'll see you this evening. So they say, and they move away after politely nodding to each of you and make their way away, leaving yourself and the young Lord Marriott together. Thank you. That was getting
Right.
incredibly dull. I've been
I
here about
hope
15 minutes, and I've been asked more than that about my fortune.
I couldn't possibly comment. Let's go.
Yes, of course. He
I
says and
have to meet you at least once more before I get on with my night.
I've been practicing.
I'm sure you have.
The fluke that happened last time won't happen again.
Big words. Can you back them up?
Yes, of course.
All right then. And she'll totter off, and she'll set up the board for them both. And white or black?
Interesting thing about the board.
With black this time.
All right.
And yes, Delilah.
It's there's a table and the board slightly hovers off of it because it's magnetized. And Ned likes his toy special.
Oh, wonderful. I didn't quite realise it was magnetized.
This is interesting.
It is. It is.
Anyway, floaty chessboard or no, that won't stop me from thrashing you, Miss.
Well,
Griffiths.
it's all a better battlefield to beat you on, isn't it, Lord Marriott?
Big words for a loser. Right.
You haven't won yet. And they'll begin their game.
Sure. Can you give me an intelligence check, please?
Sure. It's pretty good. It's a 19.
Against you.
Okay.
1d is 2d10 plus his own score. Okay, again, you win. Though barely. Very close game, but you managed just to pull back.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
What was that about being a loser?
Well, you
Lord
cheated,
Marriott.
so it's fine.
Oh, I cheated! I certainly did not, sir. If I were a man, I'd have to question you on your honour. Luckily, I'm
Well,
not.
I have plenty of honour, and you definitely cheated. You can't win that many
Right.
times in a row so easily.
Well, I'm not going to go easy on you, Lord Marriott.
Hmm.
I'm sorry my intellect outmatches yours.
Well, it certainly doesn't, cat detective.
That's not even an insult.
He rolls his eyes and then smiles. Thank you for playing anyway. I really should get back to socializing though, but it's good to see you again. Please drop by again soon. It's rather dull.
Oh, before you go, your maid, Miss Barrows, she's done something rather exceptional for me. And I was wondering how I could perhaps give her a small reward or anything. Obviously, I'd rather ask you as her lord first.
Well, I mean, that would be between yourself and Miss Barrows, but...
Well, for
What
instance, if I
exactly
wanted to
you
buy her perhaps the tickets to go out for an evening, she'd need time off, and that's your purview. So I'd rather not book anything without running it by you first.
she's around most of the days, but I'm sure I could spare it for one evening.
All right. Okay. Do you know any of her preferences for these sorts of things?
Not really, not with shows.
Right.
I haven't really
I'm sure.
asked. It's not really correct to.
True, I suppose. I've not really grown up with in contact with many maids and the like, so I wouldn't know as much. She smiles. Never mind. I will ask some of my female friends. I'm sure we can come up with something.
She does like perfume.
Perfume?
Yes, rather fan of them. I gave her a few as a gift one time. Of course, not a public one. Very much enjoyed them. But I can't speak of shows. She's very diligent in her work. She hardly ever leaves the manor. Aside from when, of course, she needs to for tasks.
Yes.
But
yes.
she does enjoy smelling good. Maybe that's a good thing.
I think I have just the thing for her, and hopefully she won't hate it. She
Really?
thinks looking towards Miss Berkeley and thinking of Rouge.
Well, I'm sure she'll not hate it. But regardless, I'm sure you'll
Right,
figure it
yes.
out.
I won't keep you from your
apologize.
finances.
Not very in the know on the, things that women like. I sort of just read and educate myself mostly, and that's not a topic I have.
To be honest, it's not really a topic I have either. I'm far too busy with other things. So I appreciate your ignorance on that respect. But anyway, I've taken up enough of your time for this evening, Lord Marriott.
Well, Miss Griffiths, have a lovely evening, whatever it is you're doing, and I'm sure I will see you about at some point.
Yes, do keep studying.
I will. And perhaps next time don't cheat, he says as he closes the door.
A loser's words, Lord Marriott. And she turns and she'll head over to Miss Berkeley.
Please
And
pull
you
me out
do
from a
so.
boring conversation.
You have had your conversations, mingled a while, and of course had, in the case of Magdalena and Varuk, your therapy session. And it begins to get to the time when you're probably going to have to set off towards your show.
Okay. Delilah will go catch her husband real quick to say goodbye before he goes. She'll pull him away from the person very politely, of course, and we'll kiss him and smile and say, no, make sure you save that New Year's kiss for me when I get back. We should ring in the New Year with something good. I have something stored up there.
Well, I'm not exactly going to share it with Mr. Pennybottom. Says Jed, a very large gentleman with a very big curled moustache who's sort of shoveling a pie in his face very inelegantly. So I'm pretty sure I can hold on to it.
Okay.
I will see you afterwards. We have a lot of guests coming this evening.
Yes.
Later on, more so. You should probably make an appearance on the eve. After, of course, you've dealt with all this.
I will try my best to be home quickly.
Brilliant. Brilliant. No need to be quick. Just, around, perhaps just before midnight.
Yes, we must do the champagne after all.
Yes, of course. And you're rather more better at that than me.
Yes, I hope the champagne tree is beautiful this year. Now, darling, I must get going. And she'll, again, kiss him.
Yeah, he
Give him his hand a little squeeze before.
Very, very, very polite little peck before he sort of steps back and nods, keeping up public appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Have a lovely evening.
And you, my lord. And then she'll go and hook arms with Tilly. So I saw you eyeing me from there. Now, have you finally awakened to my beauty, or is it something else? And, I cannot hear you, dear. You're mumbling.
Speechless.
You do leave the room speechless, Miss Berkeley. What can I say? But no, I was thinking about a rather dear acquaintance of mine and how I could help repay a kindness they did me, and I thought of well, it's not really a kindness subjecting someone to rouge, but maybe they're the type of person that would actually enjoy it. And I would be preferably paying for her services this time. I've had far too many freebies from you.
Darling, can you really afford her? I don't mean to be rude.
I have a little bit, and this acquaintance has done something rather extraordinary for me, and I'd really like to give them something nice. As nice as rouge.
Okay, so GM, knowing how pricey rouge is, just how pricey is she to one of the best designers in all of London?
Very. Personal sort of consultations and beauty treatments from Rouge can be upwards of £100.
Yes, she kind of will take a deep breath and just whisper to, do you have about £100? That's usually a starter for Rouge.
I do have some savings locked away. However, £100? I'm in the wrong business.
She giggles a little. Yes, dear. Being the best doesn't
subjecting people to torture in the name of beauty. I'm sure anyone could really do it.
No, not everyone do. It takes talent, perseverance, and passion for beauty. She truly is wondrous. Now,
I am lacking at least one of those things.
You're very talented.
Yes, it's the passion for beauty part that I'm probably lacking.
Yes.
Well, maybe if not that, you can recommend some new perfumes that preferably don't cost a small fortune. Or a large fortune.
Well, all right. So first of all, what is her own set? Does she have a strong one, musky? Let's just start listing things.
And you continue
set
to
profiles,
do your
and just
conversation about the perfumes and begin to try and get that set up. As eventually, it does wind up to the time that you all need to be setting off.
Yeah, I'm trying to gather people as I'm going.
And eventually, you do manage to corral your group together as you have got your invitations and you know where you need to go. Your carriage is pulled out back. Your servants are ready, and they open the doors for all of you. It's getting later at this point. The sun has dipped back behind the clouds again, leaving you all in a very dim and dark street.
Delilah's already changed into something a bit different. Her hair is in a different kind of style, so she doesn't look as similar as herself, but to blend in. Less extravagance. She'll look around at everyone. Well, are we ready, I suppose? This does? I'm rather excited. Do you all have your weapons?
Of course.
Always.
Oh, thank God. She smiles. See, I have this today. I've been very extra prepared. She like pulls out her little like letter opener. So
Right.
I should be somewhat helpful today.
It's good
It's
to
about that time, Dr. Brooke, that you
doing
also
this
remember
check-in.
yours were confiscated.
Yes. Other than my combat syringe and my knife,
Yes.
I would assume. So, and I had to leave the gun at home. So,
You did. You've got no guns on you.
yep.
Burrick, you're looking rather less confident than usual. Are you all right?
I would prefer to have the firearms, but I will have to rely on some of my other skills.
Just
I do have a spare, but if we do get into danger, I may lend you it. However, it does have my licenses attached to them, so I prefer not to have them in anyone else's hands but my own.
Understandable.
sorry,
I would
but-
use my left if need be. No fingerprint.
paranoia about Lower London aside, is there a reason that we're all walking armed to go to the theatre? I haven't actually been that often, but I don't think it's considered dangerous, usually.
So we're in the carriage by now, right?
I'm always armed.
Yes, you're in the carriage and you're beginning to get driven away.
Oh, perhaps I left out some details, didn't I? I might have done that.
Several, it turns
Yes,
out.
theater.
So there's okay.
What show
you know
are
how
we
I
going
went
to?
I went to the ballet the other day with Mr. Grimore and Lady Berkeley and Ned, and there was a complication there. The head ballet lady was missing,
Oh no.
and apparently there's some underground sort of theatre groups going on that are doing maybe some taking some liberties with the arts.
How
And
dare they? Creative with art.
yes.
This is a case.
Mm,
Miss
I swear,
Griffiths.
old Romeo and Juliet, the people are going to die.
It's not
I've
a
seen
piece because
one
no
too
one's
many
actually told me to do anything. I just wanted to check in, and Miss Berkeley had an interest in seeing liberal arts. And I thought,
Oh, I do.
why not invite you? Because you've not been to the theatre, although you have. You starred in a ballet. That was very
No,
impressive.
no, I did not. No, I
Okay.
wasn't.
See, whatever happened to court jesters?
Oh, I think they got killed for wearing such terrible shoes.
Well, yeah, well, not the shoes. I mean, sometimes it depended on which one, but they're very disposable, yes. They were very entertaining.
So,
Continual disregard for human life, Magdalena, is one of the reasons why I do care for you so.
just to be
We're nearly
clear,
there yet.
we are all going to an underground theatre performance, which may or may not be
Yes.
dangerous because a ballerina went missing. Is what
Yes,
they tell
and we do also suspect they might be tied to the anarchists.
me, which is something we are interested in because
Hold on. So you're
does this
saying
have
these
anything to
theater
do with
performers,
contracts we're under or anything we are actually been employed to do, or is this?
are they revolting? Because I do love squashing a good revolt.
I do love a good revolt, the ones that actually win and succeed, and like tell King.
No,
George
the
to kiss
revolting
his
is
butt.
terrible. Every time the peasants revolt, you must squelch them. Show them who
From
is
where I
in
come
charge.
from, that's a completely different thing. We made iced tea with a revolt.
Why would you put ice in tea?
Well, no, we threw it in the ocean. Actually,
We do
quite
seem to
interesting.
have this group that
That seems
this
fairly
lady-
wasteful. I would have squashed those peasants immediately.
The group that this
Perhaps
lady
you would've.
seems to be affiliated with are called the Sharps, and they seem to be taking people down who are down on their luck. And it's not confirmed, but there are so many things going on in London that anything could be a lead to what we're actually looking for.
Say
And
maybe,
it's just that's all.
say maybe the
I
cult
did-
is responsible for all of this shabbing.
I did speak to
Oh, the 30 times stabber, yes.
and
You
there
would.
are quite a number of people missing.
They are.
At least 6 confirmed, but he believes at least 30, unconfirmed.
Do you have names for these people? Because we might see them there very well tonight. This is supposed to be very secret.
I don't
Yes.
ask Mr. Carr for names, but the type that were going missing seemed to be of the same kind as that gentleman who was stabbed.
The non-memorable kind.
People down on their luck, just like the shops are taking in.
Yes. Ex-military, specifically, looking for work. And she kind of looks at the doctor like, oh, this is the thing I was meaning to talk to you about.
Oh dear, does that mean that these poor helpless souls will be, if they fight us, they will be ex-military?
I have no idea. Investigation, unfortunately, is not one of my skills.
And that's why we have Tilly here. She's always on the job, even on a date.
It seems so.
I didn't mean for it to happen, but it's just really obvious when you're looking at the star of the show and she's not who she's supposed to be. And then everyone's saying she's got smog sickness when she performs on broken legs and she lives in Upper London and it didn't make sense. And I'm sorry, I just can't help myself.
And it's about that time that the carriage suddenly stops, and you're all sort of shook for a moment. As you then hear the familiar voice of Larkin across as he goes, We've arrived. If you'd like to come out, I will open the door for you. There'll be something placed down so you don't get any murk on you. And then, of course, you can enjoy your evening. I'll be waiting here for when you're done.
Of course, dear.
And he opens the door for you with his sort of one good arm that he's currently got as he sort of gestures for you all to exit the carriage. And there you are. All right. Strange place to be, but welcome to the Britannia, he says and gestures to a very old and disused-looking theatre. And there is a sign on it that's sort of hanging and sort of swinging slightly in the wind that creaks as it does say the Britannia on it.
This is
how
the time
charming.
to turn back if anyone doesn't want to come in.
And miss a rogue play? What if they're playing some of my favorite Shakespeare's?
Oh, if they play Shakespeare, people are going to die. It's too overplayed.
Please, don't taint it, Mr. Bill. Let's go.
I'm just letting you know, so it does not come as a surprise later.
Wait, you read Shakespeare. Ned rarely does because, well, it's banned. What did you think of some of his earlier works? She'll have a chat with Magdalena.
The two of you begin to chat, and again, the place seems incredibly dim. The door is slightly opened, but is old and wooden, and the entire area seems silent.
There's supposed to be a secret word. Hello? Is anyone here?
You hear no reply. As you say it on the outside of the streets, the rain's still pattering around you all.
Are we in the right place?
I'll try and take a look around to see if there's anything out of place that
Sure,
would
sir.
lead me
Give me
to
a
believe
check,
there's things here. Is it perception?
Yes.
Great. No, not just
Yeah,
Yeet.
I'll look around as well because now I'm alerted that rivals are in town.
I'm gonna burn a reroll on that one. That was very bad. Oops. That's much better. There we go.
The doctor pulls out his torch and winds it a bit, and it starts to light.
And it does, and as you have a little look around, you don't see any signs of anyone on the streets. You don't see a sign of anyone around here or any event going on. Even with your very trained eye.
I'm going to try the door of the building.
Okay. You open the door.
Right, okay, we weren't in the building. I thought that's
No,
where
you're
we were
outside.
looking
That's why
around.
the rain was hitting you.
Okay, okay. I was looking on the inside, but okay.
You were looking on the outside at the time as you hadn't entered, unfortunately. But
That's fine.
Miss Fairchild, you go over, you try the door. It is stuck a little, but you put some elbow grease into it, and it does begin to slowly screech open until you hear it hit something just behind the door. clatters slightly. But there's just enough room for you to squeeze in.
I'm gonna go in.
Okay, you sort of shimmy in and make your way inside. And for the rest of you, Miss Fairchild disappears into the inside of the building.
Tilly will follow.
You shimmy on afterwards, sort of pushing through the various debris in the way.
I bet that slit up your skirt helps.
Dreadful thing. My ankles are cold.
Oh, good God. These ankles.
It looks like my corgi's taken a go at my dress.
What
Jesus.
are you? Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry. I know I look indecent.
I don't understand this British thing with covering everything up. It's so ridiculous.
It's just strange.
This child is like from neck to like completely covered, just like.
Wait, Miss Fairchild, why are you looking away? You're a lady.
And Miss Fairchild does not answer and just looks around the room.
Okay,
And it's not going slightly pink in the cheeks. Absolutely not.
and as you enter further in, you do see sort of a small little box office, and there is a single candle lit in the box office, and a piece of paper there that is unfurled, almost made of old parchment, with a small ink and quill next to it.
Is it kind of like an attendance list kind of deal?
It is, yes.
I'm going to go over and read it.
You read it, and there are very few names on it. None that you recognize.
No.
They only use one name as well. They don't seem to use full names. Definitely pseudonyms.
So I suppose we just sign then.
Right. She goes first, and she'll put down Caitlin, but spelt with a cat and then Lyn. And step back and let the rest.
That is very clever.
Miss Fairchild will go next and just write temperance underneath.
Lovely. Magdalena.
Is that your real name?
No.
I don't seem to have heard screams yet, so I want to stealth inside though. Like a
Okay.
sneaky damp here. And then I guess if I see a form for signatures, she'll put Elena.
Okay. You put that down. Farouk.
Yeah, he'll sign Lovell.
Very good. And Delilah.
She'll think about it. It's like, well, I've always liked this name, and she'll write Lilith on it. Close the door.
Very good. And you open the door. And after you've signed, the doors do open ahead of you as you go to place your hand upon them, and the main doors to the theatre open wide for you. And inside you see there are many sort of benches that seem to have been restored, and a stage, a raised stage at the very end of it. It all seems empty at the moment, however, but you do see a few figures draped in shadows sort of sat, dotted around the theatre. So there are 5 other figures you can see at the moment who seem to be sat, wearing big coats and sort of big hats on their head to obscure their features as they sit and wait. And each of them seems to have a single candle in front of them that is lit with a single flame.
Is it just
Is there
me,
anywhere
or
to
does
get
this
one of
look
these
rather
candles?
cultish all of a
You
sudden?
do see more of them. You see little candle holders and candles that are placed just to the left of you as you walk in.
And the people have like candles like in front of them they're holding out?
They have them in front of them, placed on a little ledge.
So, as
Oh
in
my god, so
Rome,
cool.
you, as the Romans do, after you, Lady Berkeley, you have the honor.
It's Lilith now. She smiles. One of my favorite
Oh.
names from mythology.
Lilith, yes.
Mother of
He smiles.
monsters. How delightful.
She grins a bit. Mm-hmm. And we'll take the little we'll go and like admire the little candles and sit down. She'll look for the optimal. This is the weird thing. She always looks for the optimal spot to sit down. Usually, like middle of the theater, where like all the sound can be heard. But then she'll like wait and kind of look behind her. Are we going here to actually enjoy the show, or are we here to be easily able to exit the place?
Yes. I think perhaps placing ourselves in a more strategic position would be best, Miss Berkeley. But please, and do enjoy the show. Sorry, I mean Lilith. And she, before they entered, Tilly would have made sure to wrap up her face in a scarf.
Yeah, I have
No
a
problem,
beautiful
you
like
did that.
hood.
Yeah, Miss Fairchild just pulls a veil up over her face.
Can say the mourner, the most prepared of all, just like,
Yep. She's now just a
Strategic as in
figure.
to enjoy the show, or strategic to leave?
No, to leave. But do enjoy the show.
You cannot enjoy the show unless you're in the center or in a box seat.
And so, as you sort of all sit around in your various locations, you do see another figure sat sort of in a similar area to all of you. One that you recognize quite easily due to their very colorful and garish clothing. It's very mismatched and patched as you see Fancy Vince is here.
Oh no.
I want to say hi, but he also knows us. We're friends. I'll have a look at his
saying,
face.
Larry.
Is it healed well?
It's healed okay.
Can I sit next to Fancy Vince?
You can sit
I
next to
was
Fancy
like, I
Vince.
want to sit next to him too, because he's just so fabulous.
You
He
sit
was
next to
also
Fancy
quite
Vince.
delicious.
Can we flank him? Like
As he sits there. He goes,
Like a few seats
I
behind.
wasn't expecting company tonight, but this is very pleasant. Welcome, mystery stranger.
Yes.
Pleasure to see you again, Fancy Vince.
Again, I recognise that voice wherever I'd hear it. That's Mr. Lila Berkeley, isn't it?
Lilith tonight, dear.
Very interesting name you picked there. I'm still Fancy Vince.
She giggles a little bit.
There is Siri
So-
to hide it on account of, everybody knows me.
So what brings you here tonight?
Oh, I was invited.
Oh.
It's supposed to be showing some sort of Scottish play, so I've heard.
A
Apparently very
Scottish
banned.
play?
They don't want to do it on account of curses and the like. But that's why we're here, in this place.
It's the M play?
I think
We
it
can't
is.
say it in
Miss.
theaters now.
I
Then
think
there
it's
will
that
be
one.
bloodshed tonight. She like claps a
Maybe.
little scroll.
Yeah,
I believe the last
Scottish
time this
play,
house had a play
there
on,
will be so much bloodshed.
of course, the last time this place had a play on was just before the plague, with the same play. So the way they see it is, they play it tonight, goes pretty well. It's pretty good marketing. That's why there's at least 6 of us here, which is pretty good for an underground theatre. Not many people in the lower London
Absolutely.
really get to do much theatre, or bother if it's on. Props sell for quite a bit, so they usually just get robbed. But in this case, we're here to watch some Scottish play. Happened once before the plague. I'm sure everything's going to be fine.
Yes, of course it will be. So do you know anything else about this plays and who runs them?
No, not really. Nah, just know it's involved with the Sharps.
And
They set all this up, make sure that the area is abandoned, make sure nobody sees what's going on.
yes,
I just kind of watch it, don't I?
of course,
But,
but you're so
the thing
smart
with it, last
and
week went really
know
well.
so much. Mm-hmm.
I'm very smart and I know a lot, yeah. He says
Yeah,
it's sort of
so
smart.
what do you
but-
know about the Sharps and what do they do?
I mean, a lot of things. The Sharps, a lot of things. Don't want to
I'm
say
very
too much.
interested in
There's a
these
reason they're called the Sharps, and I don't want to meet it.
Oh. You say you don't want to talk too much, but we're here in friendly company. We're quiet.
In a building that's been hired out by the Sharps with their eyes and his eyes.
Yes, but I want to know what they're all about.
Oh, great.
Call
You
it
don't
that
seem to get it,
introduction,
so I'll be
an
a
overture.
bit more obvious. I'm not going to get stabbed because you're curious.
What a shame.
Yeah, I send a look to Miss Fairchild at that one, going,
But if you were to get stabbed, about how many times do you think they would stab you?
Is that a
Miss
metaphorical
Fairchild just
question or a
looks
literal
back.
one?
Literal.
I appreciate
Was it
it.
some more like 1 to 5 times, 10 to 20, or
Might be more,
30
I dunno.
times?
I mean, they probably only need like 2 if they do it right,
Oh.
you know?
Yes,
I've
if they
heard
do
they
it
might
right.
do a lot more. Sometimes they've been known to do many. Sometimes they've been
Hmm.
known to do 1. Other times they've been known not to stab at all, just to slice and cleave and peel.
Mm,
But you have to do a lot to piss off the sharps.
I
Very
see.
particular. And they love their arts. So you're safe here as long as you enjoy your show. They've been looking forward to this one, I've heard. For they've got a good headliner as well. One of the most up-and-coming actresses in the city.
Oh, you don't say.
You heard of a lady, Marie Holly Bennett. Beautiful. Ballerina, I've heard. Dancer. Actor.
Yes.
But, a bit bored of what she can do. Strict guidance on exactly what art can be performed in Upper London. Punishable in some cases by a very quick drop off of the side of something. Or just being plain old shot. Or worse, thrown out the walls.
"Is the place dying
Reminds me
yet?"
why I love this.
I just say
No.
to anyone. Ugh.
It is quite obviously not, as there's nobody on the stage yet.
Yeah, Delilah looks back. Usually there's a bit of an overture and just, it takes a while, you know? Usually now I
does.
don't notice, but...
They've got to wait for their other guests anyway.
Other
Brutal.
guests?
And at that
Yes,
time, you do
Doctor.
begin to see people filing in, as you see quite a few people very orderly begin to fill up the back rows of the seats.
Any familiar faces that we can see from here?
Can you give me a very quick wit check
Mhm.
yourself, Miss Fairchild, given that you know possibly some other people in this area?
Do I see any of my rivals here?
No.
16.
Good.
You do recognize a few of their faces from your time where you go in to the gambling dens. You recognize at least 3 of their faces of the, there's about 20 of them that filter in. And you recognize them, yeah. You haven't seen them around for a bit, but you did used to see them in the gambling dens you went to sort of get some food and, watch people play cards and the like. Observe, people watch.
Speaking of dens and the like, are there any of the American gang or the people who used to frequent their bars in there as well? Or
You see a couple of people, at least that look to be familiar to you as people who you'd seen once or twice in the bar, but
Mhm.
none of the rest at all ring a bell.
Thank God. Whew. Okay.
As they take their candles and sit down as well. And it's as the last of them take their seats that the curtains begin to open. And the play begins.
I'm gonna wriggle a bit in my seat.
They begin to have a rendition of a play that most of you haven't ever seen before, or many of you haven't heard of, given that many of the materials are banned, especially this book, as they begin to tell the story of Macbeth.
Ugh, and remember when that one was written. Ugh.
I remember seeing this back home.
Sorry.
I remember when he wrote this.
You met him?
Yes, he was a big asshole.
And as you're both talking quite loudly as the, as the performance is going on in a very quiet theatre, you see somebody turn around and go,
Yes, sorry.
Sorry.
Still, the performance continues. It's a beautiful rendition. It's very, very good. There's a lot of raw emotion in there. There's language that has been edited that is a lot more raw than you're used to seeing in any of your theatre or even any of the stories released. Everything that you usually see at least given release by the government currently, is more sanitized. It is more able to pass. Many of the pre-plague materials that were a bit more on the edge, you could say, were banned or were taken away. And this is a rendition of something that is very much a darker story. And you do see the actress, Lady Bennett, as she does star in the show and begins to have a very emotional and very raw performance. Her monologues carrying very well, her performance beautiful and elegant. But there is a sinister feel to everything about it. And the blood
Who's she playing? I've got to ask, who's she playing?
She's playing Lady Macbeth.
Yes!
And it seems to be going very well. The audience, however, are completely silent as they watch, and the show is brilliant. It rounds out, eventually, as the final parts of the play finish, and the curtains roll back and close once more.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Polite golf clap.
I'm just like standing and like clapping, very enthusiastically.
Took some creative liberties. The lack of hazelnut shells on the floor and piss is definitely an improvement.
Hazelnut shells?
Yes.
I stopped with my like standing ovation. What?
Yes, the theater had... Never mind.
And it's as this final part closes and the curtains shut that you see the candles begin to get blown out. As you see each of the crowd begin to blow out their candles.
I'm gonna sit, so I'm sitting next to Magdalena before I blow mine out, because I hope she has dark vision.
2 people further in the front leave them on. They don't blow them out. You blow yours out? What about the rest of you? Do you blow out the candle?
I never grabbed a candle.
The doctor tries to inconspicuously wind his flashlight and be like, he blows the candle out.
You blow the candle out. Very horribly loud crank up your torch. Okay. So, anybody leaving their candle lit?
Tempted. I'm so tempted. Oh. If everyone else has blown theirs out, I will be good.
Following the trend.
I'll follow the trend, even though, but I'm definitely gonna try and see what's going on as they like leave their candles on.
There doesn't seem to be any indication of what is going on, but they seem to be either choosing to blow them out or not. 2 of them keep the candle on, but the rest you see have all blown them out. And the 20 in the back all almost simultaneously just snuff the candle.
I'm hanging on to Magdalena.
And a silence sits over the theatre as the only 2 remaining candles stay on. And after a short while, it seems as everybody else has blown out their candles, the other 2 join as they also blow out their own.
Because
the
they were
place
the only
has
2
descended into quite a darkness, aside from Varut's torch, which is shining upwards, painting his face in a very sinister way.
I like it. It's a good look.
The 2 people that are holding the candles, before they blew them out, did we see their faces at all?
No. They were ahead of you.
Okay.
Quite a distance in the front.
And we're in the back near the exit. Okay.
Yeah. You're like middle back.
I'd like to very, very stealthily try and move a few rows forward, because I was sat on an aisle, so just kind of like seat top really stealthily.
You begin to make your way across, and you can give me a quick shadow check on that.
Okay.
Shadow.
Where veil I am the night. $15.
Okay. 15. You make your way across very slowly and quietly, and you begin to creep over each of the seats and make your way slowly to about the middle back at this point. It's quite a large theatre, is it, Britannia?
Mm-hmm.
And everything still stays silent for a moment. But could those of you in the audience give me a very good wit check, please?
Is this a vision check?
It is a hearing check.
Okay. Because I have superhuman vision, so.
I'm going to use one of my rerolls on that.
Okay.
I'm good.
I believe you have a nat 20 that you could use as well if you wished a nat 20. Just to remind you.
Would the
There we
gut
go.
feeling apply here, by the way? Do I have a gut feeling as a detective that something bad is going to
Something
happen?
bad is going on here. You feel.
Okay,
You don't know what.
all right. Okay. That's +7 then, because it's a perception roll. 17. I'm also going to get very low, urge the people next to me to get down as well, and just keep an eye out and have my hands on my gun holsters.
No problem. And all of you all seem to have rolled pretty well there, which is good. It's quiet and distant, but you hear a slight gurgle and a thud very far in the distance. And that's all you hear in the dark. And you see the people begin to file out.
Two of my favorite noises.
They begin to return their candles to the side.
I'm going to keep seat hopping forwards.
Yeah, you do so. You begin to seat hop forwards a little bit more as the people
Still
in
stealthily.
further front rows begin to depart as they walk away. You're
As
unseen.
they're passing, can I see anything about the two that still had their
Could
lights
you give me a
lit?
wit check, please?
Okay.
It's very, very dark. You can only do this because of how very close you are and unseen.
14?
Details are difficult to make out, but you recognize the vague shape of them. You recognize them as a few people that were at the show, a few of the cast members of the show, one of the male leads of the show that you went to see before, the Nutcracker, is there. You recognize them. They look more disturbed and a bit saddened than anything else. And the one who's with them is sort of placing a gentle hand on their back, but very, very subtly, as you see the other gentleman is sort of making sure it's hidden that he's consoling him, as he's sort of gesturing more for him to get out.
This whole time after the gurgle and thump, the doctor just looks over at Tilly, who's like kind of crouching, taking cover, and he's like, "Is that a noise we should be advancing towards?"
Yes, I think we can. I just be on guard. Let's go.
I keep my ears peeled for 29 more thuds. Just in case. Magdalena is now like, oh, okay, that was Shakespeare.
Magdalena, give me a word check, please.
Someone else had the same idea as me, is murdering everybody who was in the play. So it's great.
If they all file past me, I want to stand up and give them a
I
little
want to
thump.
re-roll that. So, let me.
You can re-roll that. And they do pass you, just the two of them, though, but you're in the shadows at the times.
This sudden veiled figure just stands up and joins them.
Nope.
It's incredibly creepy as the two of them start to walk quicker out of the theatre as they begin to make their way to the end and pass. You know, the 20 others have already filed their way outside. Would you like to re-roll again, Magdalena, on your 7?
I only have one more re-roll. I'd rather stealth.
Okay.
Because I want to stealthily move forward because
Alright.
I want to sneak up on this
Fairchild
unsuspecting.
exit stealth. You begin to enter stealth.
Yeah, I will re-roll that stealth check though.
Certainly, go ahead.
19. That's much better.
Much better. You disappear into the shadows of the theatre once again.
Stay close to me, Miss Berkeley. And she will think for a moment and then just pass Dr. Varrick's a gun.
Okay.
All right.
You pass the wanted criminal who is to be arrested your gun.
And then I'll think for a minute, and I'll fish out the one in between my corset and give her a little tiny little pistol one that I was given a long time ago. There you go.
I have a gun.
This many.
Perhaps.
Oh.
I have 2.
Okay. Well, I can't use that one. Mickey gave it to me a long time ago for one of our anniversaries.
Perhaps you could give that one to Dr. Verrucht if it's not licensed.
Probably not. It does have my. Well, it's rather pretty though. I don't think it fits. I don't think it fits his outfit.
She just, if Dr. Verrucht is willing, she'll swap the guns around and just carry on.
The doctor actually took the gun you handed him in his left hand that has no fingerprints, and he had the flashlight like underneath, like this, and then he's like, "Of course, let us get on with this." And he grabs the little gun now in his mechanical hand and continues forward.
It's a small floral patterned one too.
Exactly. It's just
It goes rather wonderfully with that outfit, really.
It's a baby gun.
At this point, I've given up and I'm just walking down the aisle towards the stage.
I'm half hiding behind Tilly while like slowly being reluctantly dragged forward.
Understandable. And yeah, you were following the 2 before, Miss Fairchild. Did you say anything to the 2 of them?
Oh no, I was standing up to join the party. I said if they.
Oh, I
passed
thought you were following the 2 that were passing you.
Oh no
Okay.
no.
Okay, well the party is passing you around now, so you pop up and begin to follow them now. Beforehand, they were further back at the time, so you manage.
Sorry, I was unclear.
It's all cool. It's all cool. So, at which point you join the party again, and where are you all heading?
To the source of the sound, I imagine.
You heard it vaguely somewhere from the back in the distance.
Oh, if it was from the back, then yeah.
Yeah, as in the deeper into the theatre.
Oh, I was thinking
Right, okay, behind the
Yeah,
stage.
backstage.
Because now I thought you
Yeah.
thought like the back row seats, and I was like, oh, why are we going the wrong
not the
way?
exit, but backstage.
Okay.
Backstage.
Yeah, we're going towards the backstage. It's like, oh, this is stupid.
No problem at
Why is it
all.
always a stage that was?
So you begin to approach towards the stage, and the curtains are still closed. And as you approach closer towards the curtain, a voice comes out from somewhere above in the various rafters as they say, "It's best that you don't do that. The show has concluded. Please exit the theatre."
I look up towards the source of the voice.
You don't see anything.
This feels vaguely like Phantom of the Opera. Or
Someone seems to be
I'm
injured.
working on something, don't worry.
There is no one injured in the back. Only the cast recovering from their very dramatic play. Please exit the theatre.
Is
You
it
have no
possible
more
to-
business here.
Not even to send our compliments? Would you
No.
deliver them then if not oh, alright.
I look at Dr. Verrucht and see if he's willing to go forward with this or not.
Oh, he's got the little derringer, and he's like pointing at the curtain, like if you look, give him the eye, he's like.
I'll check with Fairchild as well.
Miss Fairchild is just watching you.
Yeah.
Just like
I'm fairly happy to listen to the ominous voice. I'm just slowly backing away, like please.
It's a good choice.
Hiding behind Miss Fairchild.
Hey, did Vince leave?
He sat in his seat.
So he's still
He fell
there.
asleep. Like,
Oh, okay. All right.
he's like snoring away in the background.
I'm slightly worried about him now.
And Farouk will lean over to Tilly and be like, maybe we should let Magdalena look, and then she can call us.
All right. I trust your judgment.
Look, I understand you're all standing there talking about your plans, but I must insist that you leave. You made your choice. Now, please, have a nice evening and a good New Year's Eve, and make your way back to whatever party it is that you're doing.
Do I recognize that voice from anywhere?
That's
Same.
what I was
The voice
gonna ask.
sounds
Like
familiar.
the
You don't recognize it at all. No, you never heard it before.
Even if we haven't heard before, is there a particular like theatrical training when he's like when this disembodied voice is projecting to us?
Acting check.
Yeah, because is this a trained actor? Like, this is interesting.
Can
Do
I
I
tell
smell
if it's
blood?
Upper London or Lower London?
You can smell blood, Magdalena, yes.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, you can give me a very quick streetwise check on that, Miss Fairchild.
13.
Definitely an
I am
actor.
the
They're
knight,
definitely
so I'm-
adjusting their voice somewhat, but you can't sort of pick out what their voice would be otherwise.
9.
Asking it quite well. On your 9, hard to tell. They're not quite posh enough to be Upper London. They're not quite street enough to be Lower London. They're sort of a middling ground. Seems to be
So they're
intentional.
just- Perfectly neutral. Okay.
And yes, Magdalena, you heavily catch the scent of blood.
Ugh. I'm just like to, since I am the knight with my good stealth.
You are. But
I
the
would-
curtain is massive. They probably will see you if you try and enter the curtain.
Can I look for a way around? Like, usually
certainly
there's like
can.
a back door or
Give
something.
me a wit
You know.
check, just looking around.
And this would be a visual wit check, so I
Mhm.
get my damp your eyes
Give me a
bonus.
perception.
14?
You look around, you do spot some entrances, but there is a big problem with them. They seem to be heavily caved in. There is broken furniture. There are bits of old stage there. They seem to have intentionally blocked all other exits or entrances aside from the large, thick curtain in front.
Okay.
Did you also recall that you saw no stagehands and you saw no other people involved with the production aside from the cast, and they all popped in from on stage. So they seem to have very much been prepared for people trying to sneak into the back.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Okay.
a very intentional blockage.
Gosh, it's making me hungry. It's just in the air.
It is. It's delicious as well. It smells very good. Very healthy blood.
Had a party back there. We're not invited. Should have gotten a candle. I know.
Except curtains aren't known for their stealthy abilities.
I know.
So, do we move forward or go back? Dr. Varuk is whispering, obviously.
If there's been no sign from Magdalena,
You can't
You see, she
see
looks
Magdalena.
really
How are
hungry.
you
Oh yeah.
revealing
You
yourself?
can't.
yeah.
Okay, in which case you're completely gone. Magdalena has left.
Let me just check something. I need to check my sheet for it. I think I'm going to make a will roll to help me make this choice, because if it's low, then she'll go forward. If she won't, she'll show some restraint.
Very well.
So I feel like that's a good way to do it. Come on, roll. Wait, no, that's a d20. What are you doing?
Yeah,
you
roll two
silly?
d10s, please. No d20s in this game.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. No, she's going forward. Screw that random voice.
No problem.
She can't. She knows.
And as you're approaching
someone's
once again, as your hand goes towards the curtain, you do get one
Mhm.
final warning as they state once again, I've warned you. If you enter, you will die. You made your choice. Leave.
I can't just let you commit crimes like this. And
And
she'll
at that point,
try and go under.
I'm sorry that you're going to take a shot.
Okay. If it is when the character is a target of a surprise attack before the initiative's
Mhm.
rolled, the thing automatically misses.
Okay, no problem.
Good feeling.
Which is great, as the first shot does miss.
Mhm.
The second one, however, luckily is only a 12, so it does manage not to hit you, as two shots ring out from backstage. Both, however, luckily miss you. But you all immediately feel that there is much more danger to come, and could you all roll me your quick initiative, please? So roll me your prowess.
Yes.
That's fine.
Prowess.
Was I able to see which
Your wit
direction
plus
this
your
came from?
coordination. Backstage. Definitely from behind the curtain.
Like up or like flat floor level?
Hard to tell without a roll. You can try and
Okay.
determine that on your turn, however.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So, what have we got here? Okay, so that will be Tilly. Then it looks like Loria, and Wendy, Greybeard, and Shakes. Okay, no problem. So, the Tilly and Delilah set. What do the two of you wish to do? We'll start with Tilly. There's been a shot ring out from backstage, a second one shortly followed.
Do I see exactly where the bullets have come from? Like, do I see the bullet holes?
Backstage, you see the bullet holes,
in
but
the
it's
curtain.
dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, okay. Yeah, I'm going to take a couple of steps to the left and go underneath the curtain.
Okay, no problem. You take a few steps to the left and you begin to pull up the heavy weighted curtain.
Mm-hmm.
It does take a bit to yank up, but you begin to pull it up.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's one of my actions.
That would be one of your actions.
Yeah, I'm going to take... I'm going to keep it held up for everyone while I take a quick peek around using another action for a wit check.
Sure, certainly give me a wit check for the backstage.
Let me do a perception.
It is very dark back there, so...
Yeah. That's a 21.
Very good. You look behind and you see about 30 people. About 20 of them have guns and they're aiming.
Do I see the body on the ground?
You do. You see a body in the ground. They have many knives embedded in them. The young actress, unfortunately, very deceased at this point.
How many? 30. I just say, 30, get behind now. And I go back and I dart and I basically take cover behind the chairs.
Okay. You begin to run as you drop the curtain and begin to run away again. Okay. At which point, Delilah, you've been told 30, and then you've seen Tilly begin to run.
I was way ahead of her. I was hiding behind Miss Fairchild. Like, the minute Tilly went forward...
You have full cover of Fairchild, but what do you do?
The minute she saw Tilly go forward, she's like, I think I'm going to leave now. And we'll just, make her way away from the place while tapping Vince politely that you might die if we stay. And just keep going away.
What's going on?
Something... You might die now. Let's flee.
What? What is this?
She drags him and then starts to run.
And then begins to run with you as that's your actions.
Yep.
And as
I'm
you're
sprinting.
running away, at which point the first 5 will act of them, as 3 of them luckily are not armed with guns, as they are a part of the contingency without them, as they begin to pull the curtain rail for one of them, as the curtains begin to peel backwards, and suddenly as the light shines in on the stage, you do see the very bloodied and very mangled body of the actress, the lovely Lady Bennet, as you unfortunately see many knives in them. You see a more central figure stood just behind another 3 of the figures with a very strange blank mask over their face and an interesting dagger that you very much recognize as a strange wavy dagger, the one of the Curios that you're looking for, the dagger of eternal bliss. And you see the others of them as 2 of them begin to run down towards yourself, Dr. Verugton, Miss Fairchild. Don't quite make it to you, however, but the other 3 are going to take their shots. One of them will try and shoot into the back of the running Delilah with partial cover, and the other will aim for Tilly, and the third will go for Verrugt. So, I'll start with Delilah, as the first one goes for their shot. And what is your coordination? Please.
It's 2. I also got this unarmed free dodge thing, but I don't think that helps.
Unfortunately, that doesn't help with bullets, unfortunately. As you are fired at with this, you can take a free dodge, at least parry you can't take. You can take a dodge if you wish to try and dodge the shot.
Yes,
it is
please.
incredibly hard, however, but yes, you can roll against it. Give me your unarmed check, please, to try and out-dodge a gunshot. Luckily, it's only 16.
You say this when I have terrible luck, so this would be great.
Well, you've got
Do you mind if I re-roll that?
Yeah, but you can certainly re-roll that. Do you want to give it a re-roll?
I don't like to get shot.
Getting
I
shot
prefer
is
not
very
to.
bad decision.
Well, I'm still getting shot. It doesn't
re-roll
matter.
again? Or do you
We're
only
getting
have
into
one
nasty territory. Yeah, I'm not corrupted enough.
No problem.
Fates have
As you're not
deemed it,
corrupt
I get
enough,
shot.
you sink those there as the shot does manage to land on you. The revolver manages to catch you in the side, as it deals 19 damage to you, which will unfortunately be an incapacitating wound, which I'm going to bring up our book right now, as we need the injury table so that we can roll how broken your ribs are.
I was waiting for it. I was so waiting for it.
And also, so you take 1 damage on your chest. You also -1 vitality as you take the shot, which hits you bang on in the side. And can you give me a very quick 2d10 roll, please, as we see what injury you gain from this? On a 14, you don't get broken ribs. Instead, you get major organ damage. The attack badly damaged 1 or more of your internal organs. You've been shot through the gut. You are in excruciating pain, and this will need to be treated. And can you make me a very quick will roll, please, Delilah? Let's have a look at what you get for your will. Here we go. $19. Okay, so you bite back the pain and you don't double over in pain and begin to pass out. Luckily, you are bleeding out heavily and you feel in utter agony, but you're kept up by your adrenaline alone. At which point, the other shot goes out towards Miss Fairchild. As, unfortunately, let's have a look at what this does. So, Miss Fairchild, here comes a shot for you.
Mm-hmm.
As a 14, what is your coordination?
2.
Will hit you, unfortunately, on a 14.
I have armor on. I've got on my mourner's corset.
It will, which reduces your damage. So reduce your armor from the following damage. As you take 19 damage reduced by your armor. What is your armor with your battle corset?
+2.
+2. So that takes it down. Brilliant stuff. So that would make that a 17, which is brilliant. Which I believe is unfortunately still an incap. Barely by 1 number. Could you roll me 2d10s, please, and take -1 vitality?
Okay.
Guns be nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look.
16.
16, okay. So with 16, it seems everybody is having major organ damage today. You are also caught in the gut. It pierces through the corset, hits you directly in the stomach, and you feel in agony. Can you give me a very quick willpower check, please? You're looking to beat a 14 on this.
$16.
16, brilliant. You keep your resolve. You bite back the pain, and you begin to keep your consciousness, your training, everything you've done as a mourner is keeping you alive right now. As we will move on to the last shot towards Dr. Varut. Dr. Varut, what is your coordination, please? It's okay. It's above a 1, so you manage, as luckily the shot doesn't hit you. The shot rings wide, and hearing and seeing these shots collide with your allies, you manage to dip out of the way just in time. At which point we go around to the other half of our party as we go to Dr. Varut and Magdalena and Miss Fairchild. So we'll go around in that order. So Varut, what are you doing? This is all happening sort of around the same time.
Yep. He has the, I'm assuming, 2-shot pistol. So, yeah, I guess figure with dagger. Pop, pop.
Okay, so you're going for the dagger figure. Sure. Aim up for me, please. As you dodge the shot barely, aim up and fire.
Yep.
Are you going for the 2 shots?
Yes.
Or are you aiming with 1 action?
I'm gonna go for both shots.
Okay, so you're going for 2 wild shots.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Ugh.
Unfortunately, that will be a miss on an 8 as you shoot. It strings wide and hits a piece of the stage material in the back as a prop gets its head toppled off.
All right,
It's a
and
Yorick's skull go flying.
And
on a
there we go.
17,
Oh,
you managed to hit.
actually, it's a 19 because
Very nice. You managed to hit.
Pistol in there. Oh, it's a 20 because I have +3 with pistol.
Nice. That's definitely a hit then. As you fire out, the bullet goes and hits. Can you give me the damage of it, please?
I do not
That is
know what the
2d10
Derringer.
plus damage of your gun.
Yeah, I don't know what the Derringer does. Do you, Delilah? Oh, she's got it.
I
Okay.
should. Actually, no, I do not. I got one to say I have
I have
one,
it.
but then I
It is +5 damage.
There you go.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you, Lindsay.
Got you.
Oh.
Oh my
Garbage.
gosh.
Garbage.
So unfortunately, you do manage to land a shot on the person wielding the Dagger of Eternal Bliss, the strange face-masked person with the very clear and smooth mask covering all of their features. But your bullet hits, and they
Can't
don't
reroll
hardly
damage,
flinch.
can I?
Unfortunately not,
Okay,
after
all
we've
right.
got this far into it. As it hits, and they seem to stand very still. You seem to have hit their chest, but nothing happened. As they look over to you, and you see all of the other 25 cultists around them all immediately turn their heads to you, Dr. Barucht.
Time for you to go. Everyone, out!
Magdalena, Miss Fairchild, who wants to go first?
Stealthy person after you.
Stealthy
Alright,
person?
sure.
Okay.
So is
You
there
are
a
still
way to
unseen.
stealth up to this dagger wielding person?
You could try.
Are
They're
there enough
surrounded by 30 followers.
Yeah, I wasn't
So
sure
you
if they were
would be
like
seen
in
when you get
front and you
closer?
were standing on the soapbox in the back and I could just shadow
is.
skirt around.
Yeah,
I wasn't quite sure
in the
the
back.
setup.
But there's a lot of them dotted around the backstage area, so you need to
Gotcha.
weave between
Okay.
them. It'd be very difficult to get towards the back, but you could try if you used probably a couple of turns to wind your way slowly between them.
Yeah, I don't
given
think
your
I'm gonna do that.
supernatural abilities.
I think I'm going to use my supernatural eyeballs to just get a really good look at this individual with the dagger.
Brilliant stuff.
I want to
Okay.
I want to get like their build, what they're wearing, like skin tone
Certainly.
if I can. Just
Give
I
me
just
a
want to get
wit
as
check.
much info on them as I can.
And of course, you get an additional bonus with your supernatural eyeballs.
do. They're fantastic. Let me just double check my bonus. Yes, okay, good. What's in my damp here eyes see? 14.
Okay, on a 14, you look at them and you think you see something familiar, but you're unsure what. There's a lot going on as you hear gunshots.
Mhm.
You begin to smell the
They
blood
don't
of
see me.
Delilah,
The blood. Ugh.
of Miss Fairchild. It's
Oh.
so many things
Oh.
hitting your senses right now.
This Fairchild smells awful. Her blood tastes
Yeah, it's
nasty.
like an amazing
Ugh.
smell, and the opposite side is just a horrible
Oh.
smell.
Yeah, so
But-
something familiar about them, but I can't quite place it.
You can't quite place it. Something about them seems to ring
Okay.
something in the back of your mind, but you can't quite place what it is.
Okay, in that case, because I am stealthy, I'm just gonna spend my
Same, yeah.
turn observing them, just studying
Okay.
everything that I can, and then moving quietly and through the shadows back out because I had some blood from these people once potentially before, and it almost KO'd me. So I'm not gonna try to eat or fight them, but
Yep,
I'm
that's
I'm
very
gonna
true.
while I'm unseen. This might be our opportunity to observe, so I will observe
Certainly.
and then move.
So I'll give you another wit check on your next turn that you get before we end this with a bonus due to the fact that you're spending your
cool.
entire turn observing and watching and
Yep.
waiting. Miss Fairchild, what are you doing in this time?
How close are the creepy backstage people to me?
They're around, at least for the front ranks of them, the ones that ran towards you, they're only about 10 foot away. They're not long, they're
Okay.
not too distant
And
away from
Creepy Dagger is all the way in the back
way
behind.
back. Yeah, behind
these
many
waves of
cultists.
How close is the nearest person to Dr. Verrucht?
Same as you. You're kind of in the same area on the front stage. So basically, Varukht is currently stood still in that same area,
Right.
as he did 2 shots.
Do
about
I
the same
still
time.
have free pie buff?
You do have free pie buff from Architect Origins,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, then I can ignore the fact that I can't run, and I'm going to hurry over to Dr. Varukht and stand in front of him. Because he has a ranged weapon and I do not. I'm going to pull
He
out my
does.
Exculpus and pretty much just be prepared to chop people in half if they come towards person who has weaponry.
They seem keen as you see all of their heads are turned towards Varukht after he shot towards their leader.
I take off the veil and draw my 2 Exculpus.
Brilliant.
Exculpus. And just play human spiky shield in front of him
Okay,
because he's
no
our
problem.
best chance at this point.
So
I
you
feel.
stand in front and defend Varukht. Varukht will be harder to hit, and you'll get double your coordination on top of your base score thanks to Miss Fairchild defending you. Okay, so at which point, is that everything, Miss Fairchild? You stand in front of Varukht, you wait. Are you just
Yeah,
holding your
and if
action?
someone's
for your
close
defense?
enough for me to cut off their head, then yeah, I wait to cut off their head.
Not quite just yet, but they will be very soon. But you can hold your actions for your defense. That's completely fine.
I hold my action in case he gets shot and I need to step in front of the bullet. Just to make that perfectly clear, I am fully playing human shield.
Okay, no problem. At which point, it's the rest of their turns. So the 15 of them in total that have these daggers begin to slowly approach around you. They don't seem in a rush, they're walking, as they all get this nice safe 10 feet away from you and stop in a crescent and begin to loop around. The rest of them, instead of attacking, begin to move even further around as they begin to move quicker and begin to encircle the 2 of you. However, the rest of them with the guns, the other 15, the 10 of which haven't acted yet, they begin to aim up. Only 3 of them fire this turn, however, and they fire at those who are fleeing. Tilly, as you're making your way out and you have partial cover and you're kind of dotting between things, 2 of them are going to fire at you and 1 of them is going to fire at Varukht, but Miss Fairchild is in the way, so they'll be aiming at you instead. So, first 2 shots against you, Tilly. And you were taking evasive action, so you get double your coordination. Bum, 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 bum. And let's get this roll. So that's plus 5. They're aiming. So the first shot misses you, Tilly. The second shot also misses you. You're in luck, it seems, as your cover is very much operating as it should. You see and hear the wood being blown away from the seats near you as you're taking cover behind them. And the last shot on Dr. Varukht also doesn't hit, as luckily it goes past you, Miss Fairchild, and you manage to deflect the blow barely as it pings past on your Exculpus, almost wrenching it out of your hand, but you keep a hold of it. You're trained to do as such. And at which point we will go back around. So then we'll go with our very quick actors. So, Tilly and Delilah, what do you do? Delilah, you're heavily wounded.
You can go first if you want, Delilah.
Honestly, regardless of who's going first, she's kind of just ducking and fleeing right now. Because it seems the most viable option for survival, and she has no weapon. I don't think my letter opener is going to do anything against cultists.
You far
It
away
might
from
do
me?
if you really try and you believe.
Well, I was actually quite far in the back, as I said. Like, she was backing up the entire time you guys were, like, doing the transaction. And the minute you opened up the curtain, she was like, I'm out of here. Hell, come
Okay.
on, Vince, let's go.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so you continue to, are you taking cover or continuing to run?
Well, she's taking cover, like, kind of, like, occasionally, like,
Okay.
you know. She's learning from Vince, who's probably a bit more of a sneaky, slippery bastard than she is.
Yeah, he's like on the floor.
Yeah, so
He's like on his
she's
belly, crawling out between the seats. He is not even letting a bit of him show.
Yeah, I will possibly ignore my
There's some
pride.
rats squeaking on the floor. He's like passing them like they're his brethren.
That's some royal rats.
I will very painfully.
Lady Delay, you should get on the floor if you want to survive.
My
Look, the
clothes.
rats, they won't bite you. They're scared too. They might bite you. They're scared.
Designer.
He says he continues to crawl.
Yeah, she'll like sob a bit. Like, this is more painful. Well, actually, almost as painful of her shot. When she will like go all the way down and learn from Vince and take like cover as she's like trying her way to crawl out.
In the Vincent crawl, which means you're moving incredibly slow, but you are completely out of sight and in full cover. You won't get shot at this round. But you are, however, disgustingly on your belly, crawling through the mess of a very old and very not cleaned for many years, possibly over 25 years, floor, with a lot of rat droppings and rats on the floor.
And you know
Yeah,
how
she's
theatre
crying.
floors are always weirdly sticky.
I know. I was a theater
It's like
brat.
you're like going through fly tape.
Yeah, she's just sobbing because this was one of her just designer dresses that cost several £100s.
Exactly. So that's what's happening to you, Delilah, as you make your slow and arduous and painful retreat, as you know sure this is going to be infected later. Meanwhile, Tilly.
Okay. Tilly's going to reach into her, like beneath her corset and bring out the small coin that Lucifer gave her and hold it in her palm and press it to her lips and go, Lucifer, if you can hear me, I really need you now. Please. Before she'll take fast aim at the main cultist and take a shot.
Sure, certainly, go ahead.
So she'll duck out from cover. So fast aim gives her bonus of what? Sorry, +3.
It allows you to aim, so you get the aim action basically. So.
Yep. So what's the bonus for an aim action? I've forgotten.
It's all right. I don't have my quick reference on me right now.
It's okay.
But
I forgot.
for aim, see if I can quickly find that for you in the book. I believe it's a +5.
Oh, great.
aiming.
Okay. Great.
It is quite a
Okay.
big one, is aiming.
Yeah. Great.
And let me just get my broken ribs back up just in case. There we go.
Pointed wall.
Okay. So what have you got in total? 14? Okay. So you fire, and it does get close, but doesn't quite take the cultist. It shoots out. It clips one of the other ones, however, so you can give me a very quick damage check on the other one.
Sweet.
As they seem to almost step in the way, as one of the back ranks almost throws themselves in the way of it.
24.
And you immediately blow off that one's head unintentionally. As they are just a mess.
Yeah. I'm guessing the coin counts as an action as well.
It does, yes.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll just pop back down onto cover and then wait for the next round.
Brilliant, no problem. Meanwhile, it's the other cultist's turn. Before, of course, it is our lovely other three's turn. And the cultists are going to very much match what they did the previous turn, though one of them has just had its head blown off and will not act. Two of them will be firing, and the other two will continue to wait as they stay in that distance, just away from Miss Fairchild and Verrucht, standing, their knives drawn and ready. But the two that are firing, one is going to fire towards yourself, Tilly. The other is going to fire back towards Dr. Verrucht, therefore Miss Fairchild in the way as the best meat shield in the world. So, let me just get up those rolls again as... That's a very good hit on Tilly.
I will
And
try and dodge as a free
Certainly.
dodge.
give it
Do I
You
get
can
any
also
bonuses
give it a
for
reroll
being
if you
undercover?
wish.
I can't. I've used up both my my free
Both of your
rolls.
rerolls for the day. Okay, in
Um,
which case, you can try and dodge.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Do-
cover will not matter with that, as it's already beat your cover. This is about if you can twist out of the way in time.
Right, it's an unarmed check, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Great. That's it's a +5, so I've got to roll as good as they will, which is not going to happen. Righto.
Okay, let's see. You never know.
Oh.
Maybe.
Roll. Oh, it was so good, but not good enough.
close, but no cigar, as the bullet does catch you. And it will do.
Okay, let me look at my armor.
It won't deal enough to damage you with your armor on as well. That is only going to be a flesh wound. I believe your armor is, how much is 3, is it? 3?
4 on my,
okay,
if it's on my
that's
chest,
definitely
it's 4.
So the bullet strikes out. It goes straight through your cover, hits you, but luckily your armor manages to take the blow. You only take a flesh wound, which means it's very much just cosmetic, as you're winded slightly for a moment. And that will be their turn, at which point we go around to our other half of Varuk, Fairchild, and Magdalena. Who wants to act first?
I guess the doctor will
Okay, doctor.
will quietly say to Miss Fairchild, "I told you to run. I have no more bullets." But
You just see like a tensing of her shoulders, just like
run. Oh, it's so infuriating because in his mind he's like, "I saved your son. Don't get your son." So
she's just thinking, the gun people don't have guns. Good God.
Yes, and so the doctor is also thinking, why the hell did I leave my gun at home? No, bad me. His OCD is firing, his neurons are going off. He is going to, though, grab a bottle of alcohol from his bag and flip open his lighter and huck it at the guy.
So can you give me a throwing check, please?
Yeah, I do not
have the throwing
one.
skill.
I do not. I do have
Okay, so you're
demolitions.
I'll give you on demolitions for this case. Go ahead.
Right. Hey,
I'll let you have
appreciate it. 2
I approve of this plan. In Cthulhu, we'd call this Plan B. Plan Burn It All or
hold on.
Plan Boom.
14. Do I need to reroll? Or did I get him?
You'll not get the head cultist, but you'll get somewhere in the middle.
I will. I have 3 rerolls. I'm not going to die with them.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
3. You said was the bonus double and
Have a
go.
look.
Oh my God! I just keep burning them.
Even worse.
This is my Hail Mary. So just burn them up.
It might well be.
Oh no!
Let's
I grabbed
see.
3 dice. Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, I grabbed 3 dice.
Okay. We'll let you re-roll that because you rolled the wrong dice.
Yes. There's a 15.
Okay.
Just keep
Closer. Closer.
Just keep it. All right,
Almost
I'll
there,
keep it.
but you keep it. It gets the peripherals of them, but you can catch a few of them in it.
It at
And
least
can you
sets the
just give
theater
me-
on fire.
It might do, yes. And could you give me a very quick 2d10 plus 8 damage, please?
All right. 8.
Let's just see how much this does. See if it does catch on fire. Yeah, it definitely does set it alight. So you throw out the bottle, and you see at least 2 of the cultists set alight as it blows up. The sort of distant damage that is on the cultist leader does seem to disturb them slightly, as they sort of begin to pat out the fire on them. But unfortunately doesn't damage them too much, as the throw wasn't quite there. But you still took out 2 of the other cultists, as they are sort of on fire and rolling on the ground, only making it worse for themselves. You also see the floor begin to set alight. And
I will. Can I use my quick draw then to grab my 2
you can
weapons?
draw your
Because
guns.
I don't have guns, so it's a
Your
trench
weapons.
knife and a combat
Very
syringe.
Okay.
And
so
go
you draw
back to
them out
back.
as you see all the ones with the knives getting ready. More so now, after what you've just done. So, Miss Fairchild.
After all of this,
Yes.
and just muttering, why is property damage your go-to? I'm just going to look at the doctor and say, well, retreat or advance?
I'm going to jail. I will stand and fight. You have a son. Go.
That's been taken care of. I'm under contract. And that will do more for him than I can. And I'm going to step forward to the nearest cultist and attempt to take his head.
Nice. You step forward towards the cultists and go ahead. Give me the attack, please.
Okay, right. I'm trying to remember combat stuff because I am bad.
No, completely fine. You roll 2d10s plus your weapon ability.
Weapon. I'm going for his head, but because I have head taker, I suffer no penalties for attacking his head.
However,
I'm going
that
to
is
use
not
my.
enough.
Can I use my reroll on that?
You can.
Yes, that's my last reroll.
Let's see.
Not meant to be.
Unfortunately, that won't be enough as you swing and it's a miss. Do you want to take your second swing?
Yes, I will take my second swing. I completely forgot I had that. Thank you for that. 13.
13's better, and you do manage to connect with one of the cultists at the front with the daggers as you collide with them and you manage to hit them in the neck. Can you give me the quick damage, please?
Okay, aiming for head, it's +5.
Yep,
Okay.
it's +5 damage. Go ahead.
I want a 5, thank you. 15.
15, okay. And is that with your vitality as well?
Oh, no, I forgot my vitality. My
What is your
vitality base or current?
Just your vitality current.
Oh, 1.
1, and your weapon damage of your Exculpus.
+2.
16, 17, 18. So that is an incapacitating wound. As you manage to cut.
Because I have a thing. When attacking with an Exculpus, any attack to the head of a target that inflicts an incapacitating wound or greater results in the decapitation and almost certain death.
There you go.
Head taker.
So you hit, and the head comes off as you hit this, this sort of unknowing cultist. As you swing in once, miss, swing in a second time, and immediately the head comes loose and rolls on the ground. And you see the local baker just from down the street. Okay.
People.
Mm-hmm.
I just steal myself and continue.
Magdalena.
Yes.
Shit's going down. The theater's
What do
kind
my
of
damn
fire.
pure eyes see?
Okay, can you give me another wit check with a +4 for your entire round of waiting on this?
Excellent. Who are you? Motherfucker. Oh, wait. It only rolled a +4. That's supposed to be an additional +4 because my base
Okay, so
stat.
with a +8 on an 18,
It says
you
18.
recognize...
That's a lot better.
You recognize the shoes quite well. And you recognize the build very well. As you realize this is somebody very familiar to you, this is Archibald.
Motherfucker.
Seems they
I
weren't
just
taking
leave.
out of town visit. Or maybe they did.
Leave.
You don't
I
know.
can't right now. I just... I'm
You
going to
just
work the
leave?
fairy tale. No.
And you make your way out knowing what you know. And for the rest of you, it is then the
I
rest of
have a
their
little
turns.
funeral for him in my head. Like,
Okay, no problem.
he's dead to me.
Meanwhile, the rest of you. Unfortunately, the other cultists with the daggers begin to close in on Varut.
Oh, can I help set the
and
theater on fire on my way out? Can I just because at the box office there was a bunch of matches and stuff.
there was a candle there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is there
You
anything
can hold it
flammable?
against the wall for a couple hours, But yeah, unfortunately, with your sneaking and your perception and everything else, you are still sort of making your way out at that
Yeah.
time. So you will reach
That's
the box
fine.
office, but at the end of your turn, you can possibly do something
That's
next
fine.
turn. However. But at that point, before the rest of them act, you do see the fire seems to flare quite a lot, significantly so, becoming a blinding blaze, almost red in its tinge as it begins to spread very rapidly around, almost creating a wall between the rest of the cultists, the other 15 of them, and yourselves, Varuk, Miss Fairchild, and the rest, as it seems to have a very high and very strong blaze setting the place on fire. The coin in your hand burns heavily. You may want to
keep
get
hold
rid
of it. She'll toss it towards the flames.
As you toss it towards the flames, can you give me a very quick throwing check, please?
Sure. 1 second.
If you don't have throwing, you can just give me a base 2d10.
No, I only have unarmed, I'm afraid. So...
Just a base 2d10 then, please.
Sure thing. 18. Good roll.
Wow, that's very good. Okay, yeah, so you throw it in front of Dr. Varuk and Miss Fairchild, that you just fling it out blindly. And as the two of you see this coin just ping on the ground, you see a massive additional firewall appear around you as it seems to blare out, taking at least 4 of the people in a straight line away from you, as you see this strange reddish fire just burst out from the ground. You also see this coin turning black on the ground. It seems you have a way, but you need to move quick. And meanwhile, you can still see your Molotov burning away in the background as you see the other cultists in the back begin to make their way out. This is too much for them.
Look at
Do the two of you stay, or do you run?
Oh, I forgot it was us. I was all caught up with everything else.
It's you.
Advancing just became difficult, Doctor.
They're walled off from us, and we have an exit. The fire's not behind us.
You have an exit at the back. Magdalena's getting there right now, you know. So you're all now home free if you move quick. Yeah. You don't know how long this will match. And you also know that there are still guns out there about to fire.
Yeah, but let us live to fight another day, I guess.
Turn and leave.
Okay, see, holding
it.
And I can still run because Pi.
Your Pi does help you. And you all begin to run and sprint out of the place. You make it out to the foyer where you do see, near the box office, you see Magdalena there.
I wait for Tilly and Delilah by the door. If I don't see them past me, I wait for them.
I thought I was like more towards the exit than you guys were.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't leave without them.
You're muted. I can't hear you, GM.
As you all see, you see all of them run towards the back. You stand up at the end, finally, as they all run. And all of you see Delilah just covered in just God knows what.
Oh,
and Fancy Vince, again, covered in God knows what.
Everyone out. Vincent.
Yep.
Lady Berkeley.
I'm running towards my carriage, which was parked outside.
And you make it to your carriage as you see Larkin is still sat there and he's like,
Larkin, go right now! It's a matter of life and death.
Oh, just 1 second, he says. He gets like his like little rug out that he has. He puts it out neatly.
I've been shot, Larkin, go!
And
I'm not leaving without you on the carriage, miss. Please get on the carriage.
She just runs in and just kind of sits down. It's like,
he takes out.
Here is everyone with us.
Varuk,
I would have taken her last glance.
You see the blaze.
Yeah.
I don't even look behind me.
You're just heartbroken. I'm so sad. I'm so sorry.
I'll sweep Magdalena along.
I am waiting by the carriage for everyone to be in it.
She looks really upset for some reason.
That's what I said.
Like
she's.
Yeah, Tilly will go to the carriage. She'll be holding her hand, and make her way in.
And you all make your way into the carriage, which sets off immediately. Larkin very much.
I jump up next to Larkin.
Good job. Cool. You're next to Larkin again.
I will take a whip from him
this is a very familiar feeling. All right, let's get going back then.
Straight canter now.
Yeah, he gets going. He's used to this. He's used to needing to make expeditious getaways with you people. As Larkin, your personal driver, begins to make his way up to Upper London and back towards the Manor Delilah.
If I live through this, I'm going to write the goddamn best musical about all this. She's kind of like leaning against the carriage.
So, good play?
It was wonderful, Larkin.
Oh,
Please
good, yeah.
help me in the back. I cannot let anyone see me in this.
All right, he says, and pulls around the back. And as he does, he sort of opens up the door for you. Please, just get in the back. You can find your way through.
It's raining, right?
It is chucking it down.
Yeah, I'm just looking forlornly out the window into the rain.
The doctor says, we will talk about this. I have to put Lady Berkeley back together. So do not
Yes.
do anything you would regret. And
Isn't Miss Fairchild injured as well?
As soon as we're in the door, I'm going to make my irritable heart check because all of that was
Yes,
excruciating.
that was a very difficult time for you. The adrenaline was keeping you up before. But this
I'm
is
good.
now...
I'm good. I'm still upright.
You keep yourself together as your heart begins to calm. You've had a drive to sort of settle it slightly, and the rain seems to have helped. It's very calming rain. And at
Still
least the
shocked,
thought
though.
of Havelock being safe in the house is helping. Still in shock, however, as you all pull up, bloodied, injured. And at least for Delilah and Miss Fairchild, if you don't get proper medical attention within 2 hours, you will continue to lose vitality until you die.
Yep, we have the
Definitely
doctor
get-
here.
Yep.
Yeah,
the world's
I will let
best
my servants know. Yeah, we have the world's best surgeon. We'll be fine.
As soon as we get like in like the I'm imagining we're going through like the servants' entrance to like the kitchen.
Yeah.
Certainly.
She just starts taking off layers so that she can get that scene too.
You do so
Yeah.
as at least Dr. Baruch, Miss Fairchild, Delilah, you make your way to go and do medical treatment as you need it. Luckily,
I'm
you can take
getting
Ned
taken to the.
so
I'm going
You
to the
get
winter
taken.
suite. I'll let the servants Ned know that I'm back and I need emergency medical care. So please delay.
unfortunately, he cannot delay too much. But
Okay,
you
yes,
go
but
into the back and begin to get your medical attention. Meanwhile, in the front, Magdalena Tilly, you see the others dragged off to go and get medical attention. You know there's still the event to go. You're still at least dressed. Neither of you are that injured, luckily.
Fine.
Yeah, just
Magdalena
heartbroken.
goes to the nearest decorative vase of flowers, pulls one out, and starts plucking the petals.
Okay.
Yeah, but Tilly will kind of take the scarf off from her face and just try and like. Is the wound clotted yet that she suffered?
You didn't get a wound really. You just got a flesh wound, which basically just means it nicked you. So you're fine.
Yeah. She'll just put her scarf over the over that. to make
Damage your
sure that-
scarf. That's the main damage done to you. There's a hole
Yeah.
in your scarf.
That's, get a new one, I suppose.
Yes, I
Mr.
suppose we will
Will-
have to get new ones.
Well, what are you talking about?
What? What are you?
What's wrong?
Oh, you were talking about a scarf.
Miss,
And-
I know we're not super close, Mr. Ville, but you do seem rather upset, and bad things happen when you're upset. So, would you care to talk about it with me?
And it's about the
You're
time you
right.
say that a servant does come into the back and spots the both of you. Oh, good. The speech is about to happen. You should really be in the main foyer. Guests aren't allowed back here right now.
We're feeling rather faint, I'm afraid.
I'm sure there's seats.
Right, great.
Please.
We'll be there in a second. I'm gonna.
I must insist.
We'll be out in a moment. Now, leave me be.
No, but really, I must insist. Says the servant, completely immune to your mind control.
Is he acting strangely, or is this one that I recognise as servant?
You don't
I'll
recognize him,
go. Well, fine. Please guide me
but
to a
you do,
seat.
Magdalena.
Do I? Is it one of Archibald's
They're one of
servants?
Archibald's servants.
Well, then I would have been that like, oh,
They are dressed,
Did
however,
you-
like Miss Berkeley's servants. So
I'll keep it to myself. And they go, fine, servant, take me to whatever table is best for me.
brilliant. Please do follow. Speech is about to happen. You shan't miss it.
Yes, I will follow very closely.
Yeah, they keep an eye on you, but they lead you through and out into the gala, where you do see it's very busy still. There's a lot of the upper crust of London here, most of them here, a lot of influential businessmen, nobility, all the like, as they all are sat in various tables. And you see a very nervous Ned at the other end of the room as he's sort of looking over some notes for his speech. With Delilah not here, you see a servant approach him and then whisper to him, and he looks mortified. As the servant then leaves, and he's shaking a little as he sort of goes over his speech one more time.
Can I? The servant leads us to a table. I'm going to
Once
go.
you're in there, they leave you alone.
Oh, I request him to bring me a drink. Then.
Of course, I can do that for you.
Thank you. I would love that. Thank you.
Any
I can
particular
sit down.
vintage?
Oh, surprise me.
Very well. And they begin to leave. At which point Ned spots you and walks over to the two of you. What happened? I've heard
Everything is
Delilah is
fine.
wounded and is undergoing emergency medical treatment.
Did you hire new servants?
No. Why? No, I have.
One of them was acting rather strangely.
I
That's
had a
all.
stressful night.
I'm so sorry. Unfortunately,
She will be fine. She just
Right,
had a
only when
little
somebody says urgent medical attention.
Yes, a small
Usually not
accident.
fine.
Yeah, well, the best doctor is looking at her, so she'll be fine.
Speaking of doctor, give me a medicine check as you try and treat Delilah.
All right.
Don't fail this.
Don't fail this. I have one reroll, so okay. I am the peerless surgeon, and I do have field medicine, so no penalties for not being in an actual surgery. All right, let's do this.
Okay.
14. And I don't know what Peerless Surgeon does off the top of my
I
head.
believe it gives you a reroll on your medicine checks if you fail it.
I thought so. All right. Did 14
would be
fail?
a fail. So
Okay, I will indeed take it then.
anything above a 14.
Oh,
Yes, not above a 14. That's worse.
okay. I'll burn that last roll.
All right.
That's all I got. Oh, there.
Okay, luckily your emergency surgery does go well. You managed to determine that she has taken some significant trauma. We'll need some definite rest, and we'll need to forgo any rigorous activities for the next day or two at least, and after that, even for a while, she'll need to take it slow. However, you think she'll make a recovery. Now we go around to Miss Fairchild. Could you give me the medicine check for Miss Fairchild, please?
Hi.
We're going to be at 14.
All right, let's do this. Oh my god, nope.
Okay, what did you get? An 8.
still got that reroll.
Oh, I'm Peerless Surgeon.
Reroll?
Oh,
You do? You have Peerless Surgeon. Let's give it a go. Get above 14. Oh.
What is with our rolls tonight?
Miss Fairchild, it seems the damage internally is much more serious on you. Perhaps it's to do with your irritable heart, but it is not going well. You will take another vitality damage as the operation proceeds.
That's my last vitality.
Mm-hmm. So, Miss Fairchild, you pass out, and Dr. Varugt, you realize something's going horribly wrong, and Miss Fairchild is hemorrhaging horribly. Do you want to make one more check to try and save them?
yeah. I would
Okay.
love to. Okay, Dice. Let's make this happen, all right? Live, Damiel, live!
As you stab Miss Fairchild in the chest, finishing them off, you finally realize now. Dr. Varugt, would you like to Did I take corruption to succeed on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Havelock.
Okay.
Damn it, Havelock.
You sweetheart.
Dr. Varuk, you push yourself further than you ever have before, and you manage to save Miss Fairchild's life, though barely. But you feel that the events of the night have taken its toll on you as you gain one more corruption. What is your corruption now up to?
Do I have to take it in cursed?
You can take it in either.
Okay. I will see the errors in my ways and be utterly angry with myself, and hence I will take that, I believe, 4th corruption in consumed.
Okay, well, we'll cover what that means for you at the very end so that the audience can know.
Actually, it's 3, not 4. I
Oh,
did
yeah, of
get it
course.
down one, and then I had the up and down last week, so it is 3.
You're up to 3 in your consumed corruption as you feel that taking over once again. You feel that you didn't do good enough. You could do better. You need to do your better work. You need to get back on track with your actual research that you've been trying to do. But yet you're going to jail in a day. This is not acceptable. But Delilah and Miss Fairchild, you are saved, as luckily the wound that you'd taken is recovered. It's quite the horrific sight, however, in the Winter Suite, Delilah, that you've witnessed. And Miss Fairchild, you're barely conscious, and you definitely will be needing sleep. But meanwhile, downstairs, as that was going on, Ned sort of looked nervous again and sort of needed his hair out.
Best doctor in the world, taking care of her. She's fine. He would not let her die or be maimed. I saw her last. She was walking around fine. It's probably just little overreaction.
He kind of looks at you and goes, I will believe you for now, but mainly because I need to.
It's fine.
Right.
I've taken
very well.
much worse, and I am fine now.
Will you perhaps join me for this speech?
Look, were you talking to her?
No, you.
Me? Join you for
I am.
speech?
Yes, I am. Delilah was going to do a half. Just take away all this stuff about family and love. And it'll be
Sure,
fine.
I can easily take away the stuff about love.
Are you okay? You seem rather
It's-
disturbed, Magdalena.
It's fine. I'm fine. I'm just having some boyfriend problems. It's fine.
Oh. Well, yes, I mean, their visit must have been rather long.
Yes. We need to talk it out, but it's not going to happen right now. So let's just do a speech.
Well, very well, he says, and as you step up to do your speech...
And I look over to
you do-
Tilly and I give her a look that says, we need to talk.
She nods
you're
and then she gets
giving
to the
that
back of
look.
the room and just sort of leans against the wall because she doesn't really want to be in the thick of anything right now.
No, and as you're sort of watching, the speech begins, and it's as you sort of get to the top of the podium and you overview the rest of the crowd, Magdalena, and you can see everybody's
Nice.
faces out there,
See our
that he
there?
did say to you, well, you're in luck. He did arrive only about a short time ago. Can't quite remember what time.
Oh,
And
lovely.
you do see Archibald's face there.
Can't wait to see him. Since
Very
I was
easy
stealthed the whole time
Yeah.
and didn't have a candle to illuminate me, she's gonna just be like, look happy to see him.
And he looks happy to see you too as he smiles broadly. He gives you a slight wink.
Let's get this speech done.
And remember, less on the love and family, or it may
Let's on
seem
love
like
and family. Yes, no, that would be bad. You are not my type. You are
Which-
too. No.
brilliant, I know, he says as you begin to speak. And your speech begins as Archibald watches on. And that's where we'll leave this session. So, we're going to go around, ask people who you are and what your favorite moment was from today, and then we're going to make a quick vote, which will be running very soon, for who is going to gain corruption this session. So we'll start off the opposite way than we started today with Miss Fairchild. Miss Fairchild.
You brilliant, darling, stupid man! Stop doing this to my heart! I can't! Oh my goodness. So we all know what my favorite bit was, because I'm dying over here. Just bless your heart. Fucking hell. Oh, okay. So hi, I'm Shakespeare. You can find me at Shakespeare on Twitter and Instagram. I do knitted things, hence Tiny Woolrucht, which you can find on my Twitter. All my information is on there. You can also find me on Tuesdays on Hollow Channel. This way? No, this way. There we go. Playing wonderful Ravenloft pirates. I play an anxious being. It's very fun. We're all dying at the moment, so yeah. Oh, I'm so wired. I'm so sorry. Just move on, because I'm too wired for this.
No problem, no problem. I'm glad you've enjoyed it, and we'll move down to Delilah. Delilah, what's your favorite moment, and where can we find you?
Give me a moment. Okay. My favorite moment in terms of humor was probably Magdalena just being like, and just being a pouty, like, my boyfriend is leading a cult. Like,
visited a harlot.
Yeah, visited a harlot, started up a cult, probably had it since, what if he orchestrated? Ooh, that's my head right now. I'm really having trouble speaking right now because my heads are shed and my heart feels really broken right now, and I feel like we're all gonna get horribly murdered by said boyfriend. Magdalena, you have terrible, terrible luck with men. As for who I am Laura playing Delilah Berkeley, though it feels like we're all gonna die soon, so that's not relevant anymore. On Saturdays, I play Morgan. She actually normally has this particular gray perspective on life, unlike Delilah, who cares about her clothes more than most things. On Hollow Tales channel, I think I finished my sentence right. There we go. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of in mourning. This was a... Oh, and I also have Twitter and Instagram. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. And thank you very much for playing. And Magdalena DeVille.
Hello. That was so much fun. Magdalena. It's just so many emotions right now. Papa's visiting. Cooper has to become a vampire slayer. Her boyfriend is visiting strange rival women and starting up cults with relics from my home country. And they didn't even invite me to be a part of it. I'm offended on so many levels. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens next week. Magdalena. Favorite moment from the session was, I really liked the Molotov cocktail moment from Dr. Verrucht. That was fun. I also liked Miss Fairchild agreeing, yes, why didn't we let the circus guy get hung? She appreciated that. That was great. I loved it so much. And also Tilly being like, I know we're not great friends, but do you need to talk about something? That was super cute. And just the mini therapy sessions Magdalena doesn't realize are happening. I love them all. You can find me online at LaughLoveLindy, Twitch, Twitter, pretty much any social media, YouTube. I play and GM a lot of tabletop RPGs. You can find me here next Tuesday on Encounter Roleplay for Vampire the Masquerade, where I play a bloodthirsty Viking vampire. I have, no relation to Magdalena. And my channel for, that's fine. This Saturday, we have our monthly Teenagers from Outer Space game on my channel, which is full of shenanigans, 80s references, and just shenanigans. There's no other way to describe it. It's gonna be our Valentine's Day episode, so if you want to see more date drama, tune in for that. I think it's gonna be at 10 a.m. Eastern. Sounds right. So check it out.
Cool. Well, yeah, definitely check that out as well. It's always a really, really, really good show, so definitely check that out. And Tilly Griffiths.
Hi. Wow. That was... Whoa, okay. We got ourselves in hot water. Yeah. Okay, so favorite moment. Gotta get this done first. I think my favorite moment was watching Miss Fairchild square up to 30 men, most of them wielding guns with just 2 swords and a bad leg, going, I don't even care, I'll take heads. It was just
it's both her legs.
So, both her legs?
Oh my god.
Oh, I was like sat there going, you fantastical, brave, stupid woman, please, get behind a seat.
She
Please.
thought the doctor had a gun, like of some description.
He did have one, just not loaded.
No, it was a bad
It was
idea.
a really pretty little gun.
She doesn't know guns. They're far too American.
I certainly would have given over some ammo with it, but obviously I didn't notice that. Didn't think that one through. Yes, I've been Tilly Griffiths. I'm Humpledle6. You can find me at that tag on Twitter. At the moment, I am due to start my university project, so basically like a dissertation, to finish my degree and get education out the way so I can start my life wherever that may take me. But otherwise, you can find me on Tuesdays over on Hollow's channel, as the lovely Shax has said, dying at that point in time in a Pirates of Ravenloft game where we've all been swallowed by a horrific puppet chimera. It's definitely good. Yeah, we all got 8, and we've got it's half orc in a cannon, imaginary big black cannon being shot towards this creature, and that's our only saving line. So it should be an interesting episode. Yeah,
Should be. All right, thank you for playing. And finally, last but not least, Dr. Varuked.
So, funniest thing to me, I absolutely adored when you, Hollowtail, said that it's like crawling through fly paper. The image of Delilah with petticoats and a gaping wound, and crawling across this theater floor. I was just like, oh my god, no, stop, 15-yard penalty, no, timeout. That was absolute funniest moment. My favorite personal moment for the doctor is the image of Miss Fairchild in front of him with 2 swords, and he's like, this only had 2 bullets, and just like dropping Derringer, and then like whirling around, like ducking behind her as best he can, and then reaching in his bag, and then being like over her shoulder, like firebomb. Yeah, so that was like the favorite personal moment. But I mean, everybody's so fantastic in this. Magdalena and our impromptu therapy session was so fun. Adored it. Absolutely adored it. So yep, that's me. I'm Graybeard. You can find me next up. This is a weird slow week for me, so I think my next up is Tuesday night on Indoor Adventures channel, where Kronk Goreblast, my Goliath Gladiator, takes on the I can't think of the dragon's name, but it's from Ravnica, Magic the Gathering. We are playing D&D in Magic the Gathering Ravnica. It's fantastic. It's the end of the campaign, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, over on Indoor Adventures. That's me.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. And as always, thank you so much for playing today, everybody. And, just as the last few things as well, the vote has come through. Delilah, you gain 1 more point of corruption.
Thank you.
So,
I
you're
need
now
the
getting
rerolls.
corrupted.
I need
I like
rerolls
that,
too. I'm about to have
that's where we're at right now.
bring a
It's like,
proclamation
thank you.
to my boyfriend.
Friggin' gonna kill him.
Speaking of proclamations, I am a Hollowtail. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm the DM for this show. You can also find me on YouTube at youtube.com/Hollowtail and on Twitter at @ahollowtail. Find me there for loads of RPG-related stuff. Come and check it out. I do how-do videos. I do a very nice podcast series, which is a very highly produced sort of audio drama, actual play show in Savage Worlds called Tales from a Hollow World. Love it. If you like my DMing today, awesome. Go and check that show out. It has the brilliant Laugh Love Lindy in it. It has Pruitt from WebDM, and also has Little Cup of Joe, who are all amazing players in it, in an original fantasy, dark fantasy world. So go and check that out if you want to see anything. But aside from that, you can also find me on Saturday on my own Twitch channel. I'm doing my Deadlands game with Laurie Lark and a couple of really, really lovely other people. Definitely check that out. And finally, there's a few things to mention as well with Encounter Roleplay. So we have a Star Trek and The Haunting of Seawall all finished starting tomorrow. So go and check that out. Very exciting game. And also tune in this Saturday at 3 p.m. EST, where the lovely people at Encounter Roleplay are going to be doing the next Meat Grinder to raise money for the charity Black Girls Code. So definitely come back and check that out. Show them some love. Donate some money if you can. And if not, tune in and retweet and support everybody here. And finally, last but not least, I just wanted to give one final little note to the brilliant Noir Enigma, who did the little theme tune for the show, which I'm going to play in just a moment for you as we exit the show, as they were absolutely amazing. So check that out. I'll play you this on a trailer from Seawall, which is coming up very soon. So until next time, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you very, very soon. Goodbye for now, everybody.
Unhallowed, unhallowed. Unhallowed, unhallowed. The story of some friends investigating mysterious happenings in Metropolis, and the frights and the spooks don't stop, and they gotta deal with Chicken Boy and Great God while protecting all the family and friends, new enemies and old, keep attacking them, and everything's fighting for their attention. And there's a deity called the Great Bot that I mentioned. Unhallowed, unhallowed. Metropolis of Curios, unhallowed, unhallowed. Metropolis of Curios, unhallowed, unhallowed.
While anxious wives paced Widow's Walk, scanning the horizon, watching the sea, the warmth of the fireside guided their creaking ships past the ever-present lighthouses safely into port. Today as yesterday, these sentinels of safety bring gladness to the hearts of the homing mariners.